The Highlanders of Driscoll Catholic are shooting for a 4th straight state title. Bureau Valley is on an undefeated roll. The 3A state championship game is next. And welcome to Memorial Stadium. I'm Mike Cleff, and we are just minutes away from the kickoff of the 3A state championship game between Bureau Valley and Driscoll Catholic. We've had 3 games already completed. Those winners earlier today were Newman Catholic in 2A, Alexis United in 1A, and most recently Montini in 4A. Now, as far as the 3A game goes, Bureau Valley, the Storm come in undefeated at 13-0. The Highlanders of Driscoll Catholic 11-2, but they've won the last 3 state titles in Class 4A, but of course tonight they are in the 3A title game. But hey, we've been down on the field between games. Now it's time to take you to the guys that will call tonight's Class 3A state championship game, and that would be Jim Spencer and Steve Mays. Take it away, guys.
Well, Steve Mays, we could see a little bit of history here tonight at Memorial Stadium. Driscoll trying to become just the 4th team in state history to win 4 consecutive state championships, and they do it against a great Bureau Valley team that comes in undefeated. It should be a fun night.
It really should. Both these teams obviously have been looking forward to this game. Addison, Driscoll, a chance for their 4th state championship, like you said. But I'm telling you what, they're coming up against a very good Bureau Valley team who is undefeated and has a lot of weapons. So I'm really looking forward to this game.
A lot of people want to make this out to be a David versus Goliath kind of matchup. Don't tell that to the kids from Bureau Valley. They're not buying any of that.
Well, and don't tell that to Jason Kirby either, the head coach of Bureau Valley. He thinks they have a shot. He knows that certain things that they have to do in this football game to be competitive. They've worked on them all week. It should be a big challenge for them this afternoon.
We are battling for a state championship, and let's find out how these teams got here. First for Driscoll, big quarterfinal win over number 1 ranked Wilmington, a game in where the Highlanders had less than 100 yards of offense, but they find a way to win. And then for Bureau Valley, they played at home in 3 of their 4 games, and very impressive last week in the semifinals, holding Nashville to 1 first down in that 21-0 shutout.
Exactly, and what you notice in that video right there is all the points they were putting on the board. Their offense was really clicking in these last 4 playoff games. I look for that to continue tonight.
All right, lots of key players, and let's talk about a couple of those players right now. First of all, for Driscoll, there's their great running back.
They're all everything. Ryan Meyer, you see some of his stats this year, run for over 1,000, can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. He is their go-to guy, so look for him a lot tonight.
Driscoll might be a little bit better on defense this year than they have, and there's one of the reasons why.
Kyle Jenkins, exactly right. He's big. He plays a lot bigger than 215 pounds. A lot of tackles this year, and he's the guy that will get to the quarterback, as evident of those 9 sacks, Jim.
And then for Bureau Valley, as we look at their key players, they come in undefeated, and one of the reasons they are undefeated is because of their great quarterback, Brad Manier. He is everything to this team, really makes them go.
That's exactly right. The multi-talented Brad Manier, kid that's rushed for about 1,100 yards, thrown for 800 or 900 yards, multi-talented, and he's the engine that makes that team go.
And a pretty good defensive back as well. As we segue into the defense, Bureau Valley very, very good on defense, and Spencer Yates is one of the reasons why.
That's right. Big Spencer Yates comes from that defensive end position, and look at those sacks, 10 sacks. He'll have a chance to get a few tonight, as Driscoll will run the shotgun against them offensively.
All right, it is a twice beaten Driscoll taking on undefeated here, Bureau Valley for the state championship. And one of a conference is going to have a twofer today, because either the Big Rivers or the Suburban Catholic is going to have 2 championships when we're all said and done today. Right now, we're going to send it to Memorial Stadium public address announcer Jeff Fritzen for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for the Class 3A state championship. First on defense for Bureau Valley, Preston Jones. Linebacker number 45, Johnny Barnes. At linebacker number 56, Jeremy Marlowe. At cornerback number 7, Brad Manier. At cornerback, number 30, Reed Nodine. At safety, number 34, Ben Doty. And at safety, number 2, Jason Hasbrook. The Storm is coached by Jason Kirby. And now the starting offense for Driscoll. At tight end, number 17, Kyle Jenkins. At left tackle, number 54, Ben Baffa. At guard, number 57, Ryan Maritoti. At center, number 61, Jeff Turner. At guard, number 65, Danny Oliverio. And at tackle, number 79, Dan Jarrett. At wide receiver, number 2, John Tranchitella. At quarterback, number 13, Phil Petey. At running back, number 28, Ryan Meyer. At running back, number 20, Justin Nudo. And wide receiver, number 84, Joe Taylor. The Highlanders are coached by Tim Racky.
There you have the starting lineups. Here are the keys to the game for each team. First for Driscoll, number 1, and this is huge, that is disrupt Monier.
Exactly right. To have any success against that offense, they're going to have to disrupt Mr. Monier. He's accounted for 2,000 yards of their offense, so look for them to try to do that.
And what's the Salbreski factor?
He's probably one of the best kickers and punters you're going to see in the state, and he could be a factor on a very blustery game weather-wise, and he is quite a kicker, so pay attention to him.
And then the keys for the Storm from Bureau Valley, long drives.
It's all talking about ball control. They're going to have to grind out some long drives this evening, and also I think that one of the very big keys is that no fear down there at the bottom. They cannot fear they're playing in their first state championship game, nor can they fear Driscoll going for their 4th consecutive title.
Taking a look at the state map, Bureau Valley is located right on Illinois Route 40, about 20 miles south of Sterling, that featured a state champion earlier today, Newman Catholic and Driscoll in Addison in the Chicago area. So we're trying to see which conference, either the Big Rivers or the Suburban Catholic, is going to have dual state champions on this Friday. Newman has already won from the Big Rivers, and Lombard Montini has already won from the Suburban Catholic, and Driscoll is from the Suburban Catholic, and Bureau Valley is from the Big Rivers. Newman's only loss this year was to Bureau Valley 20-9 during the regular season.
So what you're telling me is there's a lot of good football played up that way. There's no doubt about that. It's incredible.
No doubt about it. And some pretty good football played over in the Chicago area as well, as we saw with Lombard Montini really thumping Coal City in the 4A title game just a little while ago, 44-7. Now Driscoll won the toss. They elected to receive, so Bureau Valley takes the wind here in the first quarter, and they will kick it off. This Class 3A state championship game is just about set and ready to get underway, and Jason Hasbrook has it teed up for Bureau Valley at the 40. There you see John Tranchitella back deep for the Highlanders, one of 2 deep men for Driscoll Catholic. All right, we are set and ready to go on a blustery Friday night at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. The approach in this 3A state title game is underway, and the ball sails into the end zone, but there is a penalty flag on the play back near the kickoff spot. So we could see a 5-yard penalty here on Bureau Valley for offsides as we look at Driscoll's offensive line anchored by their all-state right guard, Danny Oliverio.
He really is a big kid, and that whole offensive line revolves around Oliverio.
And there you see Phil Petey as the starting quarterback for Driscoll as a sophomore, making his 7th start at the varsity level, and it will be key to get him into a comfort zone. There you see the offside penalty assessed against Bureau Valley on the kickoff. That was Robert Scott, our referee tonight. This officiating crew is out of the Chicago area. So now Hasbrook will kick it off from the 35-yard line with a solid wind at his back. Let's see if he can put it into the end zone again. Remember, in high school football, you cannot return a kick that goes into the end zone. And here's try 2 on the opening kickoff. It will not make the end zone. It is fielded by Tranchatella inside the 10. He's got the 30. He's got room to run to the 40. One man to beat up the left sideline. He can't beat him. Knocked out of bounds is Tranchatella after a great return of 49 yards to start off this championship game.
Wow, I was just getting ready to mention that nobody has started their first series on the Bureau Valley side of the ball, on the side of the 50-yard line, and here they return it back to about the 44-yard line.
There's the BV defensive line. Josh Coyle at 305 pounds will be going right up against Danny Oliverio head-to-head for the entire game. Preston Jones, great linebacker for Bureau Valley, a 4-year starter for the Storm is Preston Jones. And the defensive backs, Brad Manier doubles up at cornerback, and he'll be matched up with Tranchatella a lot one-on-one at a receiver position. All right, first offensive play of the game from the Bureau Valley 45-yard line. It is going to be play action. Petey looking to throw. He's going to tuck it and run. He's down to the 40 before he's finally mugged under. Pickup of 5 or 6 yards on the play. Second down upcoming for the Highlanders.
Smart decision right there by Phil Petey to take that one and tuck it under his arm and run the football. He did have number 28, Ryan Meyer, running down the middle of the field, wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of him.
Meyer slipped out of the backfield and was open. And Petey picks up 6, 2nd and 4 for the Highlanders. Well, we'll talk about this in a little while. 2nd and 4, opening series of the game. And Petey will line up under center. The Highlanders will use multiple formations and a lot of shotgun as Nudo goes in motion. They toss it left to Meyer. Meyer to the 40. He's got the first down as he's escorted out of bounds along the far sideline by Reed Nodine, but not before a first down is picked up by Driscoll Catholic.
Boy, Ryan Meyer showed a burst of speed right there. Bureau Valley's very hard to get on the outside. Their outside linebackers, Jeremy Marlowe and Preston Jones, are very quick from the outside linebacking position.
Receivers either way, and now some shifting going on, and they'll go in kind of an icebox set with all of the linemen lined up to the near side as you see that, and Petey's kind of off on an island by himself at the quarterback position.
The old lonesome polecat. Oh, he's got a wide open receiver too.
Throwing deep for Tranchatella, and the ball is deflected away and incomplete. Nice defensive play by Jason Hasbrook to knock the ball away. Tranchatella, the intended receiver, it appeared that he was open. We're just over a minute into the first quarter. As here you see a replay of that one. You can see Tranchatella open, and then Hasbrook knocking the ball away at the last moment. 2nd and 10 for the Highlanders. They are at the BV 34-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side, a trips formation, and they run it up the middle. Inside the 30, on the play is Meyer before he's brought down. 3rd down upcoming for Coach Tim Recke and the Driscoll Highlanders.
I'm very surprised that Driscoll's been able to run the football so effectively on this drive against Bureau Valley. They only give up 1.9 yards per carry. That's only 64 yards a game rushing to the opposing offense. So they are very stingy up front. That front 4 is very good and all seniors.
3rd down and 4 for the Highlanders. Mark the ball at the 28-yard line. I formation backfield. Play action. Petey under pressure, in trouble. Breaks free, but he is not going to get the first down. He's going to lose a couple of yards on the play. It brings up 4th down, and against the wind, it'll be interesting to see if we see Rick Albreski come on to try a field goal attempt here for the Highlanders. This is certainly within his range. Albreski has kicked a 58-yard field goal this year, and he holds the Illinois high school record for most extra points in a career and most field goals in a career. But Driscoll is going to go for it here on 4th down, not risking a kick against this wind.
Look for Bureau Valley really to bring some pressure against Phil Petey, especially when he's in the shotgun. They're going to bring those linebackers off the corner.
Big 4th down on the first drive. And on the carry for Driscoll was Petey going to the left, the quarterback, and he is hit and dropped down, and it is a defensive stand for the Storm. Driscoll moves the football, but they hold, and they take over on offense with the wind at their back.
Exactly what we were talking about. Bureau Valley brings the pressure. They bring one extra guy. Addison Driscoll could not block everybody. Petey actually lost his footing. Good defensive play by Bureau Valley.
Bureau Valley takes over on offense with Brad Manier in there. Quarterback Preston Jones is the fullback lining up behind Manier. Brad surveys the scene. And Manier is going to keep it, and he's got room to run. He might go. Brad Manier breaking free on the first play of the game, and he is going to take it the distance. 66 yards for the Storm on their first play, and the Storm lead it 6-0.
Bureau Valley touchdown.
There you see Manier celebrating, and here's why.
Boy, we highlighted him at the beginning of the show right there. Just a little read option right there, audible by Brad Manier, and takes off 66 yards. And once he gets behind the defensive secondary, you're not going to catch him.
Manier at a quarterback position has rushed for over 1,000 yards, thrown for over 800, and now BV trying to make it 7-0. Jason Hasbrook for the conversion kick. It sails to the uprights, and it is good. 9:06 to play in the first quarter. BV has the lead on Driscoll, 7-0. We're going to step aside for a network timeout. Bureau Valley makes the big stop on defense on 4th down, tackling Petey. And then Brad Manier takes it the distance on the first play afterwards, 66 yards for a touchdown. 7-0 Storm. For Manier, his 17th rushing touchdown of the year out of the quarterback position.
Quarterback, exactly. It's amazing.
So Hasbrook ready to kick it again. Line drive towards the near sideline. It is picked up by Dominic Sinise, and he carries up across the 30. And after a 21-yard return, BV will go on defense here as Driscoll takes over at the 31-yard line.
Boy, there's some really good hitting going on, especially on special team play. Both of these teams are excellent in punting, kicking, kick return, kick cover. They like to get after it. So let's see what Addison Driscoll can do on their second series.
Well, if Bureau Valley was intimidated by the Driscoll mystique before the game, you would not think that they are now.
Exactly.
Two receivers go to the left, to the far side as you look at the action here at Memorial Stadium. Petey hands to Nudo, and he's hit and dropped. Justin Nudo with the carry, and it goes nowhere. 2nd and long coming up for the Highlanders.
Spencer Yates, number 75, hard slant to the inside from his defensive end position, was able to grab the running back and pull him down from the backside.
Justin Nudo, just a junior, 5'10", 170-pounder. And Nudo on the year, averaging over 7 yards per carry, 531 yards coming in. 2nd down and long in a spread formation here for the Highlanders. 4 receivers. Out of the shotgun, Petey throwing near side. Tranchitella makes the catch, spins forward, fighting for the first down, and on second effort, I think Tranchitella's got it.
When we were talking to Jason Kirby, the head coach for Bureau Valley, he said when Addison Driscoll went to that shotgun, Jim, they were going to bring pressure. That time they brought their 2 inside linebackers. Driscoll's offensive line did a great job, gave Petey enough time to throw the ball.
And it is a first down pass and catch out to the 42. Driscoll operating inside of their own territory, trying to win 4 consecutive state championships. They won 4A 3 years in a row, dropping down into 3A this year and trying to get it done. And Driscoll would become just the 4th team in IHSA history to win 4 in a row. They toss it left. It's Nudo looking for the corner, cuts back and manages to get some positive yardage on a play that looked to be doomed for a little while. Good job by Nudo making something out of nothing.
Driscoll tried to crack back on number 6, Preston Jones. He would have nothing of it, ran right through the blocker
and made a nice play there for the Bureau Valley defense.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run. Bureau Valley playing in the state championship game. As there you see the other teams, Joliet Catholic, Chicago Mount Carmel, and Providence Catholic, the other teams that have won 4 consecutive state championships. Pretty elite company there. Petey throwing near side. Catch is made up to the 50-yard line. On the reception for the Highlanders, number 82, Dominic Fontano. And he'll be just a little bit short of the first down. We're looking at a 3rd down and 2 call here for Tim Rackey.
Boy, Petey's shown that he has a nice arm, Jim. That was only a 7-yard pickup, but he had to throw that football literally 25 yards in the air on the line. Good throw by Phil Petey.
Petey started in week 8 of the regular season, a game that Driscoll lost to Woodstock Marion 31-19. That broke a 28-game winning streak for the Highlanders. Driscoll then lost in week 9 to Montini, but they've won 4 in a row in the playoffs to get into this game. 3rd and short, and it is going to be a 1st down carry up the middle for Driscoll. Squirming forward was Meyer, I believe. Nope, I'm sorry, it was Nudo on the carry. 1st down, though.
Nice job by that front 5 for Driscoll to pick up those blitzing linebackers. Number 61, Jeff Turner, along with Ryan Maritoti. Picking up those blitzing backers, were able to get the running back through to get the 1st down.
Jeff Turner is the younger brother of Greg Turner of Driscoll fame. Over 4,000 total yards, upwards of 50 touchdowns for Turner. He is now at Northern Illinois. Great all-state player the last 3 years for the Highlanders. Pass near side, and it's caught at about the 41-yard line. Making the reception was 32, Mike Redpath. And a pickup on the play of about 6 yards to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Highlanders.
Good look right there at Tim Rackey on the sideline with his coaching staff. I like what Driscoll's doing here offensively. Bureau Valley's playing their defensive backs very deep. Those corners are playing about 10 yards off. They're just taking what they're giving them, throwing it underneath. I like what they're doing.
Ball is at the Bureau Valley 40-yard line. A little more than halfway through the 2nd quarter. Running play up the middle, and Bureau Valley stuffs it out. Preston Jones got in there and stopped Tranchitella before he could start going.
Preston Jones came into the game with 108 tackles and 2 sacks. That'll show you right there that kid has a nose for the football. And really, he's the defensive leader on this football team. He's not the middle linebacker. Normally the middle linebacker's that defensive leader. Preston Jones is the engine that makes this defense go.
Preston Jones, a 4-year starter on defense. You just saw Jason Kirby, the head coach for the Storm. Yes, for the Storm. Out of the shotgun, the sophomore Petey airs it out, pass caught, and it should be a 1st down at the 35-yard line, and it is. Making the catch once again was 32, Mike Redpath, and it is a 1st down pass and catch for Driscoll.
Exactly, pitch and catch. Another one they're just throwing underneath. They're just 7-8-yard routes. They're taking what they will give them. Hey, let's give some credit to that front 5 for Driscoll. Their offensive line, we heard so much about Bureau Valley's defensive line coming into this game. They have not gotten close to Phil Petey.
Well, Bureau Valley's defense bent but didn't break earlier in the quarter, and they're going to have to do that again here if they're going to stop Driscoll. Driscoll on the march very impressively with their conservative passing game, and here Petey draws Bureau Valley off sides. We think that is what Robert Scott is going to tell us here in a moment.
Josh Coyle, number 52.
Encroachment, defense, 5 yard, repeat 1st down.
So there's the call. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Highlanders.
Those are penalties that just drive the coaches crazy. You see Jason Kirby telling everybody, let's calm down. Defense.
Jason Kirby hails from nearby Philo, Illinois, about 6 minutes away from Memorial Stadium. 6 miles away from Memorial Stadium. And if you're going fast enough, it is only 6 minutes. Petey throwing down the middle. The ball is caught and dropped. Looked like Tranchitella had it, couldn't come up with it. And it's now 2nd down and 5.
Boy, Tranchitella got a step on Monier. Inside him, ran a deep post route, and ball was right on the money by Phil Petey. You're going to see a good replay, end zone replay. This will come right at you. Look at Petey step up, put the ball right on the money. That ball's got to be caught. Monier did a nice job stripping him, though, as well.
That's probably a ball that Tranchitella catches 9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
Did not come up with it there. It would have gone for 6. But it is only 2nd and 5. Petey, inside handoff. It goes to Meyer, and Meyer gets a couple of yards before being drugged down. We're looking at a 3rd down and short call here for the Highlanders.
It's one of the favorite running plays for Driscoll out of the shotgun. Little counter read, they call that. They watch and see what that defensive end does. If he comes down, the quarterback will take it. That time the end came out at the quarterback. You got to hand that to Ryan Meyer. The other defensive lineman did a nice job for Bureau Valley to stuff it.
This is one of those times where time of possession is an overrated statistic because Driscoll has had the ball for almost the entire first quarter, but Bureau Valley has the lead 7-0 with 1 offensive play. That's all the Storm have had, and now Petey is going to spend a timeout with 3:09 to play in the first quarter. It is 7-0, Bureau Valley with the lead. We're going to take a break as well. This is a network timeout. We're back in just a moment. Back at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. 3rd down and 5 here for the Highlanders of Driscoll Catholic. Ball is at the Bureau Valley 29. Petey under center this time. He's going to run some play action. Firing the ball downfield. Pass caught. 1st down for Driscoll. Making the catch was Kyle Jenkins. Jenkins out of bounds. And they're going to mark it inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Look at Bureau Valley up front, averaging 255 pounds per man, and Driscoll's offensive line not chopped liver either at 234 pounds. So there is some beef up front for both of these teams.
That's helped out by Josh Coyle for Bureau Valley being 305, 310. So that does help your average. Let's see what Driscoll can do here on first and 10.
12 play the drive. They're going to run it up the middle. It is Nudo trying to skirt his way to the outside, and he's brought down by an ankle tackle, and it's going to be 2nd down and long coming up for Driscoll.
Boy, Driscoll's really giving Bureau Valley a lot of offensive formations to defend. You know, they're going to the gun a little bit, little eye back, little split backs, twins, giving them a yeah, that'll drive you crazy. And Dave Moore is the defensive coordinator for Bureau Valley. Boy, I bet he's had some sleepless nights this week.
Right now, Addison Driscoll has run 18 offensive plays. Bureau Valley has run 1. And it's 7-0 Storm. Petey out of the shotgun, rolling near side, gets it away just in time towards the end zone, and it's off the mark and incomplete. Petey just pretty much got rid of that one to avoid a sack, and it's going to be 3rd down and long here for the Highlanders.
That was a single-man route. He tried to find Joe Taylor there in the corner of the end zone. Taylor was not able to get underneath that defensive back for Bureau Valley. Petey just threw that one away.
Really impressed with Petey's poise as a sophomore playing in this environment, and remember, throwing against the wind here in the first quarter has really done a nice job.
Well, the pressure that he came into when he started in that 8th game of the season. Here's a sophomore walking into 3 straight state championships. The kid had to be nervous, but man, has he performed pretty well here this evening.
3 receivers in the formation. Petey out of the shotgun. Under pressure, steps up, fires the ball. It's caught. Tranchitella dives. He doesn't get in, but he's got a 1st down and goal to go for the Highlanders. Nice catch. That made up for the one he dropped earlier. And it's a 1st and goal here for Driscoll.
Driscoll's starting to keep their running backs in, picking up those linebackers. That time, Justin Nudo did a great job. You're going to see him go across the face of Phil Petey, pick up a linebacker. Petey steps up, really throws a strike right there as Tranchitella almost stretches out and gets in.
So Tranchitella making the catch, 1st and goal at the Bureau Valley 2-yard line. Petey now goes under center. Brings a man in motion, and it's a give to Nudo. He dives and he comes down in the arms of Preston Jones.
Wow.
Preston Jones looked like a baseball catcher. The pitch came in, it was Nudo, and he caught him.
Yes, he did.
And sent him back.
There you see Preston Jones, nice hit by him. And let's not forget, here's the replay right here. Bureau Valley's only given up 6 touchdowns all year, and that one, they just don't let him in. So we got 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line.
Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Storm here in the Class 3A state championship game. Driscoll spreads the field with receivers left and right. It's a give, Nudo again. Nudo's not going to get in again. He loses yardage here, and the Bureau Valley defensive front getting fired up. So now it's 3rd down goal to go.
Boy, I'm surprised Driscoll's trying to run that ball inside the tackles. You got big number 52, Josh Coyle, in there playing nose guard in this defense, his goal line defense. He's a hard guy to get out of the way.
Yeah, at 305 pounds, yes, very hard to get out of the way. He's a senior, 6'2", 305 pounds.
They also have Sean Wager in there, number 68. He's 6 foot 245, so that's a lot of muscle to get out of the way.
We will have our 3rd down goal to go play when we start the 2nd quarter. We've played one here in the 3A state title game, and Bureau Valley has a 7-0 lead. We'll go to the 2nd quarter after this local timeout. Well, when this game is in the books, we'll only be halfway home. 4 more state championship games tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning with the 6A title game. Bloomington against Providence. Will the 3rd time be the charm for Bloomington? Then that border war between Morris and Joliet Catholic in 5A, followed by Libertyville against Cary Grove and Downers Grove North against Cary Grove. It all starts tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on most of these same IHSA television network stations.
Boy, that looks like a great lineup tomorrow.
3rd down goal to go as we start the 2nd quarter. They toss it to Meyer. Meyer turns the corner, dives, and he's in for the touchdown.
Boy, 2nd effort right there by Ryan Meyer gets him in to the end zone. He was actually tackled about the 1-yard line, but that good leg strength he has and the drive and the push by the offensive line, Meyer is able to get in the end zone.
A long, time-consuming drive for the Highlanders with a good mix of run and pass, and we're going to see this touchdown run by Mr. Meyer here again.
Lots of formations. Look at that offensive line knocking people off the football, getting into the end zone as well. Bureau Valley did a nice job, almost kept Ryan Meyer out of the end zone.
A 17-play touchdown drive for the Highlanders. Here's Rick Albreski. He's only missed 9 conversion kicks in his career, and he bangs that one through, and we're tied at 7. We're 4 seconds into the 2nd quarter, and we're tied 7-7. We're going to step aside once again, this time for a local timeout. Well, Steve, Bureau Valley has held the ball in this game for all of 10 seconds and 1 play. Total plays right now, Driscoll with 23, Bureau Valley with 1, and we're tied 7-7.
That one play they ran was very key. Brad Monier took it a long 66-yard run. They'll get a chance here again as Albreski is set to kick off.
And Albreski is going to drill this one into the end zone. There will be no return. What a weapon he is.
Boy, we've some great kicking this afternoon and continuing into tonight. Seen a lot of touchbacks by the kickers in all 4 of these football games today.
Well, we're already into the 2nd quarter. We haven't had much time to talk about the Bureau Valley offense. There we go up front. How about a center, Josh Coyle, 305-pound center. You don't see that very often.
And he can move.
Yes, he can.
He can move.
Very athletic at 305. There you see the backfield led by quarterback Brad Monier. Garrett Barnes is just a sophomore, you see there. Preston Jones, 4-year starter, 2-way standout, and an all-stater for Bureau Valley, as is Coyle. So Monier under center does a lot of reading and audibling at the line of scrimmage. He's going to keep it, and he's got positive yardage. Again, Monier turning the corner left out across the 25 to the 26 as we take a look at the Driscoll starting defensive lineup. Donnie Grieco is an all-stater up front. The average up front about 217 pounds defensively. There are the linebackers for Driscoll, Franken, Lesniak, Caldwell, and Nudo. And the defensive backs. John Tranchitella.
A lot of speed on that
solid
defensive
two-way
unit.
starter for the Highlanders. Look how deep their linebackers are. Here's a give coming around the near side to Garrett Barnes, and Barnes doesn't get much there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Get the audience to pay attention to those linebackers for Driscoll Catholic. They are very deep. Sometimes you'll see them creep back as far as 7 yards off the line of scrimmage, which is amazing, but it gives them a little more time to read and react, and they do a good job. The thing that you're able to do that, they've got a lot of speed at linebacker. You have to.
You've got to be lightning quick to play that far off the ball at
Right.
linebacker. The base defense for Driscoll is a 4-4. 3rd down and 3 here for the Storm. Manier rolling near side. He wants to throw, and he does. The ball is caught, first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. Bureau Valley will have a first down. Making the catch was Jason Hasbrook for a Bureau Valley first down. So Bureau Valley, I mean, they run the football well, but they are not one-dimensional in any way, shape, or form.
No, I mean, their main play, they want to run the football. There's no doubt about that. But Manier can throw the football. He's a big kid. I mean, he's got a strong arm, 6'1", 185. He's thrown, we've mentioned, 150 attempts this year. So he's shown he can throw the ball.
Nice pass and catch for a first down out to the 38. Back to live action. Preston Jones lines up at the fullback position. There's a fake to Jones, and Manier is off to the races again. Cuts to the outside, up the left side to the 30, to the 20, and Manier is drugged down. Another long run for Brad Manier. This time he goes 51 yards. Already over 100 yards rushing is Brad Manier.
Joe Laraya has a touchdown saving tackle here as Manier is going to run what they call midline. You're going to see him not block the defensive tackle, and Manier is just so strong as a quarterback, and then when he's on the outside, he's able to outrun people. This time he can't get into the end zone, but another long run by Brad Manier.
So now Bureau Valley will set up shop at the Driscoll 12-yard line. One of the keys to the game for Bureau Valley was long drives. They've had long drives, but they haven't been many plays. Penalty flag comes in, and it's going to be moving back as it looks like Bureau Valley jumped.
Imagine that run puts
ball,
Manier.
false start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Already over 100 yards.
Here's our officiating crew for tonight, again out of the Chicago area, Robert Scott. Front left there is our referee for the ball game tonight. How about this for an average for a quarterback? Brad Manier, 3 carries, 123 yards, 2 minutes into the second quarter. 1st and 15. Now Manier wants to throw. Pop flies it into the end zone, nearly intercepted. Knocking the ball away was Shane Franken, and very nearly came up with a big-time pick.
Boy, Jason Hasbrook had a step on the defenders right there. Manier just underthrew it a little bit. Bureau Valley came out in a new formation right there. That's a little short slot. We're going to see the roll right here as Manier underthrows this one. Hasbrook does a nice job breaking up that potential interception.
Bringing in the play from the sideline for BV, number 9, Patrick Smith. The ball is at the 17-yard line.
I like when we talked to Jason Kirby, the head coach. He said he gives a lot of freedom to Brad Manier. As far as audibles, you see him right here making an audible call.
Manier taking his time, making the call, takes the snap, and it's Preston Jones bursting up to the 10-yard line. Pickup of about 7 yards. Preston Jones is a linebacker, and he's a fullback. Preston Jones is also the point guard on Bureau Valley's basketball team. You don't find that combination very often.
I mean, a kid with arms like that can play point guard.
He's the point
I bet
guard.
He runs people over, that's for sure.
For Coach Brad Bickett. And once Bureau Valley gets its starting lineup for basketball, they're going to be pretty good in basketball, too. There you see up front Bureau Valley's offense against Driscoll's front four. BB with about a 20-yard per man advantage. Here, it's 3rd down and 7. It is going to be a give to Barnes, and Barnes is not going to get the first down. Barnes carries down around the 7-yard line. And let's see, Bureau Valley has got a pretty good kicker in their own right in Jason Hasbrook. And against the wind, let's see what Coach Kirby wants to do, and he sends in the play.
Yeah, I think down here he feels like he's got to get extra points. Got the ball on about the 6-yard line. He's going to challenge that front 5 of his to fire off the football. Let's see if they can pick up a first down or even a touchdown.
4th down and a long 4 for the Storm. They're going for it, and Driscoll almost drawn off sides, and they were. The penalty flag came in, And will half the distance here be enough to give them a first down? However, it will not be. They're only going to move the ball to the 3, but it
Dead
will
ball.
be closer.
Encroachment. Defense. 5 yards.
Boy, that's one that drives the coaches just nuts. We've talked about it a couple times. The football's right there in front of you, and you get a guy to jump off. A silly mistake by the Driscoll defense.
So half the distance takes it to the 3. And it's fourth down and much closer now for Bureau Valley. Fourth down and about a yard. And Bureau Valley is going to take a timeout to talk about this as they'll go over and huddle with head coach Jason Kirby. And before this fourth down play, we're going to step aside for a network timeout. All right, 4th and 1 for Bureau Valley as we're back out of the timeout. They need 1 for a first down. They need 3 for a touchdown. It's Preston Jones, and I don't know.
Boy, I think he's short.
I think you're right, Steve. The Driscoll defense comes up big, and let's see if they'll even have to measure. They will not.
He lost
it is
half
a
a
first
yard.
down for Driscoll. What a play by the defense.
Great surge by that defensive line. They got low, crabbed, got in the offensive backfield, forced Bureau Valley to lose half a yard.
So 8:34 to play in the first half, 7-7 it remains, and Driscoll will take over at their own 4-yard line. And now Driscoll will be operating with the wind at their back as you see the coaching staff for the Highlanders on the sideline. Petey takes and hands off, and not much. Struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage on the play was Nudo. 2nd and long upcoming for the Highlanders. Driscoll trying to win 4 state championships in a row, and their 5th all time. Bureau Valley playing in the championship for the first time, but one of the members of this consolidation, Walnut, did play for a state championship in 1A back in 1982. 2nd down and 9. Out of the shotgun, Petey airs it out, and the ball is caught out across the 10 by 84 Joe Taylor. It's going to be short of the first down. It brings up 3rd down and about 3 off the 7-yard pickup.
Well, that play right there will show you how much confidence Tim Rackey, the head coach, has in Phil Petey. Puts him in the shotgun deep in the end zone, and Petey's able to step up and make a nice completion. This is a huge play right here. 3rd and about 4, about 7:30 left in the first half. Let's see if they go to the air again. Trip spread formation.
Trips left to the bottom of your screen. Petey, 3rd and 3 from the shotgun. Bureau Valley showing blitz. They run play action. The ball is fumbled, and Petey has to cover it up back at the 5-yard line, and Petey fortunate to hold on there, but it is a punting situation, and Driscoll will bring out Albreski to punt from his own end zone, and Bureau Valley has blocked 13 punts this year, 13 in 13 games.
I thought he was kidding when he said that. I had him actually down for 9 or 10, but 13 that they've gotten a piece of. And this is a very aggressive punt return unit. You will see the guys pointing out who they got, who they're coming after, and they really like to attack the punter.
Garrett Barnes stands at the 50 to return this kick from Albreski, and we've got a penalty flag coming in. It is looks like it's going to go on Bureau Valley, but it is 4th down and 8. It wouldn't be enough
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. 5 yards. Repeat 4th down.
There you see the call. It'll be 4th and 3 now, but it gives Albreski just a little bit more room to navigate in the back of that end zone. And
right.
Coach Kirby not happy about that. And Albreski, a great punter, great overall kicker, will be kicking with the wind at his back here. There you see the senior going to either Bowling Green or Central Michigan. He's received offers from both.
Nice high spiral right there by Albreski.
And it takes a Driscoll bounce, and it's down at the 40. A great kick from Albreski, 49 yards, no return. And what a weapon that is to have at the high school level, because it doesn't happen very often.
No, exactly. You'd like to see your deep guy, Garrett Barnes, number 1, come up and at least catch that football. Don't let it bounce on this ground. This very hard surface. That ball tends to bounce around a lot.
What's the number, as you look at the playoff history for these teams, Bureau Valley in the playoffs for the 4th time. Their furthest advancement prior to this year was the quarterfinal round a couple of years ago. And the overall playoff record for Driscoll, an impressive 38-9. It helps when you've won 19 playoff games in a row. And that's what Driscoll has done. Halfway through the 2nd quarter, here's Manier. Couple of yards on the keeper. How about that? 19 playoff wins in a row.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
The last team to knock off Driscoll in the playoffs was Oregon back in the semifinals in the year 2000. It has been a while.
It's been a while.
Oregon lost to that great Harrisburg team in 3A that year. That was the last year of the 6-class system in Illinois high school football. Here's 2nd down and 8. And here's a give off right tackle out to the 45-yard line. We're looking at a 3rd down and 5 here for the Storm.
You know, it's helped Tim Rackey and his coaching staff. He's been able to keep a lot of those coaches on the staff. He hasn't had a lot of people leave his staff and go elsewhere. When you're able to have consistency in your coaches, that really helps keeping these kids coming out and keeps the continuity going. And Rackey's been very successful at keeping these coaches in his program.
3rd and 5 after the 3-yard run from sophomore Garrett Barnes. Couple of receivers to the right of the formation for the Storm. And Manier rolling near side, looking to throw, fires the ball down the field. Leaping catch is made by Garrett Barnes inside of Driscoll territory at about the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 yards and a 1st down.
This is the favorite pass play for Bureau Valley. They just sprint Monier out a little bit. We're going to see it here from an end zone look. They run 2 outs on the outside. The inside man runs an out. The outside guy runs an out. And Monier put the ball right on the money, but that was a heck of a catch by Barnes.
15th catch of the year for the sophomore. 4:30 to play in a very, very quick first half of football, and Bureau Valley jumps.
That ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards, repeat 1st down.
You gotta like this officiating crew. They don't waste any time.
No.
It was an emotion penalty. They spot the 5 yards. They make the call over the PA, and they wind the clock, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, we made a comment in between games to Dave Ganaway, one of the directors here at the IHSA, how good the officials have been all afternoon and this evening. Once again, we have another great crew.
1st and 15 after the 5-yard walk-off. Manier is going to pitch it. An option left. It's Doty on his first carry of the game, and he gets inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line.
I was wondering when we were going to get a chance to talk about Ben Doty, 5'10", 165, and a senior. He does have over 600 yards rushing. That time Monier did a great job attacking that defensive end, drawing him to the quarterback, made a nice pitch, and Doty was able to get on the outside.
There you see Bureau Valley averaging nearly 246 yards rushing, 63-yard passing, and they're mostly a running team. They're a big play passing team. Manier checks off at the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, and he's going to keep it. Manier across the 35, fights forward, good second effort, and he's probably going to have a 1st down.
You know, it's a little misleading, Jim, about those stats. People look at it and say they're only averaging a little over 300 yards in total offense. They've had 7 games where they've won by 30 points or more. I mean, so you got to remember, here we're going to see the replay. Nice quarterback trap right there by Monier, but these starters haven't played all of the game in at least 7 or 8 games, so those stats are a little bit misleading.
7-7 is your score. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. Bureau Valley with a 1st and 10 at the 32 inside of Driscoll territory. Here's Barnes. Barnes gets across the 30 before being pushed back. Short gain on the play. Talk about how Manier calls the plays each time. The coach for BV, Jason Kirby, he'll send Brad 4 options in, and then at the line of scrimmage, it's a check with me play. Brad is going to go into the huddle, and he's going to tell the guys, here are the 4 plays, check with me at the line of scrimmage. And last week against Tolono Unity, Jason Kirby told us that Brad Manier made the correct read 100% of the time last week against Nashville.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding.
Manier back to pass, looking to set up the screen, and the pass is underthrown and incomplete.
Boy, that's the screen they ran last week against Nashville for a touchdown. They like to screen and draw a little bit. That one they couldn't get to Preston Jones, but they were able to pick up a big touchdown last week against Nashville with that exact play.
So working against the wind, it's 3rd and 7 here for the Storm. The ball is at the Driscoll 29-yard line, certainly 4-down territory.
That's a quick second quarter, 2:28 left.
3 receivers in the formation, 2 left, 1 right. Jones the single setback, and it looked like Bureau Valley might have jumped again.
Josh Coyle, either that or Josh Coyle forgot to snap the football. Everybody else was moving but the center.
On the offense, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Already 6 penalties have been whistled on Bureau Valley, very uncharacteristic for the Storm.
That really is. They're a pretty disciplined football team, and Coach Jason Kirby talked about that to us before the game. He just loves this senior group that he has. I think you have 9 starters that are seniors for Bureau Valley.
3rd down and 12. Manier looking to throw. Pump fakes. Now throws it down the sideline. The ball is up in the air, and what an interception. Leaping up into the air, Mike Redpath with a great pick, and Driscoll has the football. Wow.
You know, Redpath is beat on this play, actually. Bureau Valley tries to run a hitch and go, which they'll do once or twice a game, and Redpath reads it. You're going to see right here at the end of the play, Monier underthrows this ball just a little bit. They had number 9, Patrick Smith, back behind the defensive coverage, but what a great play by Redpath as you see him coming in for this offensive series.
So now Driscoll will take over at their own 15-yard line after the turnover. 4 receivers set here for the Highlanders. Petey will operate from the shotgun. He's got time. Now he's going to be flushed, and he's going to heave it deep. Looking downfield, the ball is going to be nearly picked up by Manier.
I believe we're going to have a penalty flag. It's laying in on the 20-yard line.
That could be an ineligible receiver downfield as long as Petey was holding on to the ball.
Hear what the call is here.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense.
Good call there, Jim. Petey had a lot of time to pass the football. That can happen. The offensive line thinks the ball has been released. They go downfield to make a block. That time they got caught. That's going to back them up another 5, put the ball down about the 10-yard line.
So it'll be 15 yards will be necessary for the first down. It'll be 1st and 15 after the walk-off.
Bureau Valley has 2 timeouts here, 2:09 left to go in the second quarter. I would imagine if Driscoll tries to run the football here and doesn't have any success, Bureau Valley might call a timeout.
Bureau Valley will get the football first to start the second half. Petey, again from the shotgun. Looking, flushed out, rolling near side. Petey's going to tuck and run and work his way out of bounds on the near sideline after a short gain.
Boy, Coach Tim Rackey on the sideline wanted Phil Petey to stay in bounds, run that clock a little bit. I don't think they're trying to run a 2-minute drill here down in your own 10-yard line. He'd like to see Petey stay in bounds, keep that clock moving.
2:03. We see a replay of this play.
I can't really tell if that was going to be a play where he was trying to throw a quick screen or not, or if that was a predetermined run on Petey's part.
It'll be 2nd down. And basically call that no gain, so 2nd and 15. Once again from the shotgun. Petey is going to heave it down the middle. The ball is up in the air and overthrown and incomplete, intended for John Trenchatella. And it's going to be 3rd and 15. Again, the clock stops, and Bureau Valley gets to keep timeouts here. I would bet, if I were a coach, I would run a draw of some sort or an inside run, spread the defense a little bit, and then run it up the middle, because if you don't get the first down, at least you force Bureau Valley to use a timeout to stop the clock.
Exactly right. I think you have to do that.
Well, you see Tim Rackey trying to win 4 in a row. Trips to the right, 3 receivers to the top of your screen. 3rd and 15 here for the Highlanders. Petey fakes the handoff, looking to throw. In trouble, eludes the rush. Moves forward. Petey's still on his feet. He's got the 20, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds, but I think he's got a first down.
Oh, he's right at it. I think they're going to mark it inside the 25, and I think he had to go to just outside. It'll be an interesting mark. Boy, he took a big shot there at the end of that running play, too.
And it is a first down. What a run by Petey. Was in big time trouble, gets away, picks up 15 yards and gets a big first down.
What a huge hit by Bureau Valley's quarterback, Brad Monier, on Phil Petey.
7-7 is your score. 1:46 on the clock. There you see Driscoll averaging nearly 114 yards passing. Good balance between pass and rush at the high school level. They've thrown a lot more than run today, however. They've been able to get yardage that way. As once again on the receiving end of the pass from Petey is Mike Redpath. And minimal yardage on the play, and we are going to have a timeout taken.
This one by Addison Driscoll.
So Driscoll burns a timeout. 1:36 to go in the half. There you see the time and the score on your screen. 7-7 is your score. Bureau Valley scoring the first time it touched the football. First play, 66-yard run from Brad Monier, and Driscoll coming back and answering with a 17-play, 69-yard touchdown drive. As you see Driscoll, 28.6 points during the regular season, 28.8 during the playoffs.
Pretty consistent offense right there, but well under that right now. Have only put 7 points on the board against the Bureau Valley Storm.
Once again, looking ahead to tomorrow, some great matchups tomorrow on championship weekend, day 2, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to that 5A game between
unbelievable
border rivals Morris and Joliet Catholic. That should be a great one. Bloomington Providence kicks off the day at 10 o'clock in the morning. Libertyville against Cary Grove at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in 7A. The 8A game is at 4 o'clock between Downers Grove North and Maine South. So there you have the schedule for tomorrow. It all kicks off at 10 o'clock.
That Morris football team, Dan Darlington supposedly has his best football team he's ever had right there. So that will be quite a game. And a lot of people up in the press box were talking about that particular football game.
2nd down and 9. Petey has been in the shotgun for most of the game and has had time to throw. He's going to heave it deep. Down the field. Got a man, but it's overthrown and incomplete. But a penalty flag comes in, and we're looking at pass interference. It was intended for Mike Redpath again. And let's check the penalty. We expect pass interference.
You know what? This is going to...
Pass interference against the defense. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
Again, in high school, it is not a spot foul. It's just a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down as we see the replay.
Well, it's a great play, actually, by Reed Nodine, the defensive back. He's beat. I mean, that's going to be a touchdown. What are you supposed to do? That's good coaching. He just knocks him down. If he doesn't do that, that's a touchdown.
So that's a play we'd have to come back to later on if it's a 1 touchdown difference. Nodine making a great play there and picks up the penalty, but kept Driscoll out of the end zone.
Right.
So.
Well, Bureau Valley's taken a lot of chances here in this defensive series. They brought 3 linebackers there, put all their defensive backs in man coverage. Driscoll was able to get behind him there, and darn near scored a touchdown.
For the sports fan in your life, if you're looking for the perfect stocking stuffer, stocking stuffer.
It's a tough combination there, Jim.
This book by Taylor Bell is a great choice for your sports fan. Sweet Charlie, Dyke Kazzy, and Bobby Joe, authored by Taylor Bell from the Chicago Sun-Times. Stories from the great history of basketball in our great state of Illinois. You can log on to ihsa.org/Bell, and you can order it online, or you can call the phone number there on your screen for more information. I've read a couple of snippets from that book, and it's very, very good. So back to the action, 1st and 10, out of a timeout. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining, 89 seconds to go in the half. Inside handoff. It is Myers spinning forward to the 45 for the Highlanders. Clock will run here.
2-minute offense right here. Addison Driscoll trying to get up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They only have 1 timeout left. Want to save that if they get closer to the goal line.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. Petey on a deep drop. Hurls the ball down the field. He's got a man. It's Taylor. First down inside of Storm territory to the 46-yard line. Clock stops to move the chains. 1:02 showing on the scoreboard clock here at Memorial Stadium.
Joe Taylor's one of Petey's favorite targets. Came into the game with 19 receptions for a little over 330 yards.
Out of the spread, 4 receivers. Petey looking to throw again. Screens it out right side. Pass is caught once again. Taylor again on the receiving end of that one. And the clock continues to roll as Driscoll will go in a hurry-up offense. Right now with the wind at his back, we are in Albreski's field goal range.
Definitely with this win, no doubt about it.
Back to pass, Petey. Straight drop, time to throw. Throwing deep, down the field, the ball is up in the air. And did Doty get it? It's picked off. Unbelievable. What a pick. Ben Doty goes up into the air and gets the big interception to stem the tide for the Storm.
Boy, I thought Petey threw to the wrong guy right there. Number 10, Ray Lau, is running right down the middle of the field out of his slot position. Petey elected to throw to the outside receiver, and what a great play by Doty. As you see Petey stepping up there, this ball just gets away from him a little bit. Look at Doty, what concentration to stay with that one.
Outstanding concentration, tipped it up into the air, and as he was falling down, it fell in his gut, and he held on to it. So the Storm will have Manier on the keeper. Some confusion in the backfield, and sometimes that results in disaster, especially at your own 10-yard line. But Manier able to hold on and get about 4 yards on the play, and that might be the final play of the first half.
Especially when Preston Jones is your fullback, he's going to run you over if you get in his way. So that will be the last play of this first half.
An entertaining first half of action here at Memorial Stadium in the Class 3A state championship game. We are even Steven. Bureau Valley and Driscoll are tied up 7-7, and Bureau Valley will get the football first as we look ahead to the second half. Right now we're going to go down to the field. Mike Cleff is standing by with BB coach Jason Kirby.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Steve. And Jason, you were just telling your guys, good job, good job, good job. Hey, you made it a 24-minute game, tied there, and you got a big play to end the half.
Yeah, we did. We get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. We've played terrible by getting those penalties. We never do that. Our kids are a little jumpy. They need to settle down like I do. I need to settle down a little bit. Second half is going to cause us to do that. We get a long half. We get the ball to start. We'll go. We'll keep playing. We'll play better defense in the second half. I know we will. We'll stop the hitches, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, Jason, your first play of the game was huge, getting that touchdown by your quarterback. I mean, boom, what a way to establish confidence.
Yeah, no doubt. Our kids were a little edgy, and for that to happen, that gives them a great deal of confidence. If they continue to tackle well, we have a shot in the second half. That's all you can ask in the state championship game.
Jason, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Jason Kirby, Bureau Valley Storm head coach, his team playing a good one. They're tied at 7 at the half. Back upstairs to Jim and Steve.
Well, one of our keys to the game for Bureau Valley was long drives. It's been Driscoll who's come up with the long drives in this one. And to even the score up 7-7, and Bureau Valley with the big plays. A couple of big runs from Brad Manier. Of course, the biggest, the long touchdown run on Bureau Valley's first play of the game that went for 66 yards. We're tied 7-7 here at halftime. We're going to step aside. We'll have more after this local timeout. With the win, that's a tough choice.
Terrific Class 3A state championship game between Driscoll and Bureau Valley. We're tied at 7, and now we get to meet the Driscoll cheerleaders, and we have Lisa and Melissa here. How much fun are you having?
We're having a great time. It's so much fun here.
Now, they were asking me during the commercial break, they were worried about what I was going to ask them, so just nothing but nice questions. How excited are you about the team? How's the team playing?
They're doing great this year.
Yeah, they've tried really hard, and so we're so proud of them that they're here.
All right, ready to do a cheer?
Yeah.
Take it away.
We're Driscoll, we're proud. Let's go, let's shout it out, we're Driscoll, we're proud. Let's go, let's shout it out, we're Driscoll, we're proud.
Those are the Driscoll Highlander cheerleaders, and now we're joined by Driscoll Catholic principal Fred Muleman. And Fred, once again, you're here. State championship game. Dandy of a ball game. But once again, it's a team you're proud of, as we talked before.
Oh, it's an excellent team, excellent coaching staff. Our kids are great. They work hard all season long, put in a lot of time, and here we are again.
Fred, what was it like watching Montini win the earlier game, the 4A game?
Oh, it's just great to see another Christian Brothers high school win a state championship. It'll be a tradition for them also.
Fred, what is it like to be associated with a football program like this?
Well, it's a great program, and it really brings a lot of school spirit to the school. Kids are excited all week long. They work hard, and it's just a great feeling.
How long have you been the principal at Driscoll?
This is my second year there.
Second year. Mm-hmm. Is this year more fun than last year?
Every year is great fun. I mean, it's different kids, a new season, and so every year is fun.
Fred, what is it about Driscoll that makes you the proudest? I mean, the football team gets a lot of publicity, deservedly so, but there are other aspects of the school that I'm sure that make you proud as well.
Well, I think our students are very excited about school in general. They're excellent students. They're good in school. All their extracurriculars are good, and they're just hardworking kids.
Fred, who has the best cheerleaders in the state?
Driscoll Catholic and Addison, of course.
All right. Fred, thank you very much. Good luck the second half.
Thank you.
All right. Fred Muleman, he is the principal at Driscoll Catholic, and their team, the Highlanders, tied at 7 at the half. When we come back, we will hear from the cheerleaders and the principal from Bureau Valley right after these local messages. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We're at halftime of the 3A championship game between Bureau Valley and Driscoll Catholic. We heard from and talked with the Driscoll Catholic cheerleaders and principal. Now it's the Storm time, the Bureau Valley Storm cheerleaders. These are the tri-captains right here, these three. What's your name?
Amy Behrens.
And what's your name?
Sarah Connor.
And what's your name?
Kristen Wilstead.
All right. What's it like being a captain of the Storm cheerleaders?
It's been really awesome this season because we've had a really great football team to work with, and it's just been an amazing year so far.
All right, a cheer or a dancer? Which one you want to do here?
Cheer. We've got
all right,
cheer ready.
Go ahead.
We say blue, you say white. Blue, white, blue, white. We say go, you say fight. Go, fight, go, fight. We say zero, you say nine. Zero, nine, zero, nine. We say number, you say one. Number one, number one, number one.
Those are the cheerleaders of the Bureau Valley Storm. Very, very well done. And now it's time to meet the principal at Bureau Valley, Terry Gutschall. And Terry, first of all, congratulations getting here. Congratulations also, a tie game at the half. And I've got to tell you right now, Jason Kirby, I've known this guy for a long time, and I think he's a wonderful football coach, and you're nodding your head. You feel the same way.
He's an excellent gentleman, both on and off the field, had a lot of class, and we're fortunate to have him. He's starting his 5th year here, and he's done nothing but brought us success and a lot of enthusiasm in our football program, and we're very pleased with him.
One thing I like about him, though, I talked to him before the game, and he said, great seniors make you look really good. And the young men, the seniors on this football team, I know you're proud of them.
Oh, I totally am. Excellent bunch of young men, leaders by example, both on and off the field. Any number of those young men could come and date my daughter at any time. So that tells you a little bit about those fellas.
Oh, boy. I'm sure your daughter is wonderful, Terry.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. She is a nice young lady. So that tells you a little bit about our young men on our team. And seriously, they're fine young fellas. And they're good citizens and good role models for our younger kids, and I couldn't be more proud of them and the success they've had thus far.
Terry, your community has to be just absolutely buzzing, especially the last couple of weeks.
Oh, they're so excited. It's our first time we've been in a state championship. We've only been in existence for 10 years. We're going for our 6th state trophy. We've got 3 in basketball, a couple in cross country. We said, shoot, why don't we do it in football? State championship. What a wonderful opportunity and experience for these young men. And, I know that we were coming in maybe the underdog, even though we're undefeated against this Driscoll team. Tremendous program, tremendous tradition. But we got some farm boys. They like to play football, and they're just good young men.
How nervous or nerve-wracking is it for you to watch tonight's game?
Oh, it is. I'm so excited and so happy for our kids. And I know all the communities that we have that make up our district are very proud of these young men. They're just fine, outstanding young fellas, and they're excited. I know that we have about half the towns here. Hopefully there's nobody robbing the banks. There's not too many people there holding the fort down, and I think we got a lot of people watching the games at home on TV that were unable to make it here tonight.
Terry, if I told you back on August 1st that come this weekend you would be tied with 24 minutes to go, state championship on the line, you'd take it.
Oh, I'd take it in a heartbeat, you bet.
All right, Terry Gutschall, the principal at Bureau Valley Storm. Congratulations. Good luck in the second half and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Bureau Valley Storm and Driscoll Catholic Highlanders tied at 7 at the half of the 3A state championship game. We will be back with the second half right after these local messages.
And Steve Mays back upstairs at Memorial Stadium in Champaign at halftime. There you see the score of the 3A state championship game so far today. Newman won 2A in the first game of the day, 21-7 over Carthage. Alexis United captured the 1A state championship, knocking off Stockton 21-14. And in 4A, it was Lombard Montini winning its first ever state championship in convincing fashion over Coal City, 44-7. Let's take a look at the first half numbers from this tie game. And look at Bureau Valley with the rushing totals. 160 yards rushing. Brad Manier has 134 of those 160 yards rushing for the Storm.
Right, mostly on 2 runs that he had, especially that first run of 66 yards. Manier was very impressive in the first half.
You look at that penalty number for Bureau Valley.
Right.
You heard Coach Kirby talk about that earlier in halftime. That's a lot of penalties for this Storm team.
Well, that's part of settling down. He said he needed to even settle down on the sideline. He was a little worked up. We could tell that, Jim, when we were talking to him before the game started, and I look for them to settle down a little bit here in the second half.
Time of possession almost 2-1 in favor of Driscoll. There you see some more numbers. 12 rushes for Bureau Valley for 160 yards. And look at Phil Peaty, the sophomore quarterback for Driscoll, 11 of 15 for 76 yards, and his only interception coming at the end of the half there with that great leaping catch by Ben Doty.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of the first half highlights here. It started quickly for Bureau Valley, their first play of the game. There goes Brad Manier. 66 yards for the touchdown. At the time, BV was up 7-0. Driscoll came back with a 17-play touchdown drive. Here was play number 17.
Toss sweep to Ryan Meyer right there. Got enough leg push, got into the end zone. The ball came loose, but Ryan Meyer had already crossed the end zone line.
Brad Manier had another long run. This one right here going for 51 yards. This set BV up in business, but they were unable to capitalize after the long run, and they were held out of the end zone. And towards the end of the half, here is Petey's only interception. Look at this grab by Doty, going up, tipping the ball up into the air and making the pick, and that put us into halftime tied 7-7. And right now we're going to go back down to the field. Mike Cleff is standing by with Highlander coach Tim Rackey.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Steve. Tim Rackey, the outstanding coach of Driscoll. Bottom line, what'd you tell your team just now in the locker room?
Well, I was a little disappointed in the first half. Defensively, against an offensive team like this, you have to play assignment football. Everybody has to do one job, and we don't have all 11 playing together, getting off the ball, so hopefully we're going to bring more of an attitude this half. Offensively, we're moving the ball. I'm happy about that. The penalties, when we shoot ourselves in the foot, we can't afford to do that against a great team like this.
Tim, real quick, gut feeling, do you think your guys will play better this half?
Yes, I do.
Thanks, Tim. Good luck. Tim Rackey, Driscoll head coach. His team tied at 7. Obviously not the happiest with the way his team played in the first half. We'll see how the Highlanders play in the second half. So Jim, Steve, back to you guys.
Well, neither coach very happy about the way their team played in the first half. Looking at the keys to the game again, well, key one, disrupt Manier. That hasn't happened.
That didn't happen, right.
He's got 134 yards in the first half, and the Albreski factor hasn't factored in very much so far in this game.
No, but with a 7-7 game, that could come in later in the game, and so let's keep that up there as one of our keys. He may come in here at the end of the football game.
And looking at things for Bureau Valley, long drives. Well, they've had long drives. They've just been short.
Single plays.
Yeah, they haven't consumed much time. One thing here for Bureau Valley, wrap up. That meant tackle well.
Right.
And I think the tackling for BV has been marginal and average in BV standards.
I think you're exactly right. And that last one, no fear. I don't think they really came in fearing Driscoll. As we were talking to Coach Jason Kirby before the game, I don't feel that I felt fear in him. I mean, his players are very confident. They're almost to the point where they're a little bit cocky. They play with an attitude, which is great when you're playing high school football, and he really pulled that out of them at the start of the game, and I think they've played with no fear this whole game.
Well, it's 7-7, and Bureau Valley will get the football first as we start the second half. And we will have second half action after this local timeout. Second half action is moments away here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. Even Stevens 7-7 here in the 3A title game on a brisk and blustery Friday night in Champaign. There you see the tale of two cities, and actually from Bureau Valley standpoint, it's actually a tale of 6 cities.
Yeah, exactly.
When you look at the consolidation, Walnut, Manlius, Buda, Wyanett, Sheffield, and New Bedford, the consolidation that make up the Bureau Valley School District. And there you see the population. That's the population of Manlius, where the high school is actually located. The total population a little bit more than that, but pretty equal enrollments. Out of the Suburban Catholic Conference, Driscoll, they've already won a state championship today with Lombard Montini. Bureau Valley out of the Big Rivers, they've already won a state championship today from Sterling Newman.
I'm just impressed that you knew all those co-op cities that made up the co-op of Bureau Valley. I don't know how, well, I see your cheat sheet over there too. I see them written down, but pretty impressed with that, Jim.
And Driscoll will be kicking off into the wind as we start the second half. The kick bounces and it's taken by Barnes at about the 12. The sophomore takes it out to the 22. And Bureau Valley will start with relatively poor field position to start the second half.
Let's see if Driscoll comes out and plays with more of an attitude that Tim Rackey talked to them about at halftime. He didn't feel like they had that edge where they playing being nasty. Let's see if they come out and do that here to start the second half to set the tone.
Here come the Storm up to the line of scrimmage. 185 yards of total offense for Bureau Valley in the first half. Most of it, 160 of it, coming on the ground. They pitch it to Preston Jones. Turns the corner, hit hard as he gets to the 25 or 26 yard line. There you see the senior 4-year starter for Bureau Valley. Preston Jones, an Illinois Football Coaches Association All-Stater. Jones, an All-Stater, also for Bureau Valley. Up front, Josh Coyle is an All-Stater. Driscoll also has 2 All-Staters, Donnie Greco and Danny Oliverio.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Second down and 8 after the 2-yard run by Jones. Manier is going to keep it. Manier dives forward to the 30. It's going to bring up third down and short.
They went back to their base offensive set right there, double wing. Monier just reads that defensive end. That really is a triple option. He has the option to give that ball to the fullback.
If they give him the 33 where he lunged forward to, it'll be a first down.
You know, that Central Catholic game is obviously one that I saw in person. I was there as my brother Bobby's the head football coach, and Monier just really wore us out. The weather was miserable. The wind was blowing about 30 or 40 miles per hour, but Monier was the difference in that football game.
How about 37 carries as a quarterback?
You know, I didn't realize. I watched the whole game. I stood there on the sideline. I didn't realize he had 37 carries.
6th first down of the game for the Storm. First drive of the third quarter. Bureau Valley operating with the wind at their back. It's a handoff to Barnes, sweeping right. Barnes gets across the 35, tripped up at about the 37-yard line. Pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. We're a couple of minutes into this third quarter.
Garrett Barnes is also listed as the backup quarterback, but I like what he brings to the Bureau Valley offense. A little more speed. He's got that outside breakaway speed. Preston Jones is their guy that will run in between the tackles. They like to get Barnes out on the outside.
We've only seen Doty for Bureau Valley carry a couple of times today. At the other halfback position, you see him lined up as the wing to the top of your screen, right underneath the clock and scoreboard. He comes in motion. And it is Preston Jones. He lost the football, and Driscoll has recovered. Preston Jones, after picking up near first down yardage, coughed it up. 2nd turnover of the game on Bureau Valley. And let's see this fumble again. The normally sure-handed Preston Jones coughs it up.
Watch Jones. He's trying to go for a little extra effort right there. Gets hit. Hand gets in on the football. He's not able to recover that ball. What great field position for the first drive for Driscoll Catholic.
They start at the Bureau Valley 43-yard line. Here comes the sophomore at the quarterback position, Phil Petey, and he's going to line up under center for one of the few times in the game. was operated out of the shotgun. I formation backfield. And on play action, Petey looking to throw, screens it out, near side pass caught. That's Nudo making the catch, and room to run up the right sideline, inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. The ball came loose, but they're going to say that he was down. They're going to say Nudo was down at the 19-yard line. A pickup of 21 on the screen pass, and here's another look.
Boy, I don't think people can realize how good of a throw this is by Phil Petey. That's a tough throw, thrown on the run like that. You're going to watch the peel back block right there by Mike. I believe that was number 9. Really gets a piece, and you can see the ball carrier is actually down before the fumble comes out.
So Driscoll in Bureau Valley's red zone. 2 receivers to the top of your screen, and a third receiver actually, and penalty flag comes in. Let's see if it is encroachment on BV.
Boy, that's the 3rd or 4th encroachment by BV.
Encroachment, defense. 5 yards, repeat first down.
That is the 8th penalty on Bureau Valley. So it'll be first down and 5 for the Highlanders. Tim Rackey standing on the right there. Gets the play in. Tranchitella and Taylor are the receivers to the top. Petey under center. Meyer is the setback. And it's going to be Meyer trying to get off the left side. He is hit and dropped. A couple of yards on the play, but it was 1st and 5, so it's going to be 2nd and 3.
That's a play where they try and use Ryan Meyer's speed, a little zone play, outside zone play, lineman lock on. They get Ryan Meyer on a running start. That time Bureau Valley did a nice job.
They actually call it no gain on the play. And 2nd down upcoming. Taylor splits left, and they bring Tranchitella to the bottom of your screen. And they send Nudo in motion out of the backfield. They're going to run Meyer, and he gets not much once again. The Bureau Valley defense stiffening up. After that pass completion a few moments ago, the 21-yarder to Nudo, Petey is now 12 out of 16 passing.
Boy, he's had a nice evening, no doubt about it. Here you see the coaching staff for Addison Driscoll.
So a big 3rd and 5 upcoming. It was 1st and 5 and 2 no gains. Couple of receivers to the top of your screen. Nudo in motion once again. Petey is going to run it. Petey looking for the near side. He's got the first down across the 10 all the way down to the 6-yard line. Petey on a run of about 8 yards picks up first down yardage. It's 1st and goal for the Highlanders.
Boy, what a smart run by Phil Petey right there.
That was a design. He had no intention of passing. He was going to run all the way.
Exactly. He didn't have a pitch back either. He was going to run that football no matter what. Did a great job following his offensive linemen, letting them set up their blocks. Now we have 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
Well, Driscoll started this drive at the BV 43 after the Jones fumble. Now they have it 1st and goal at the 6. Close-up look of sophomore quarterback Phil Petey. He takes, and it is Nudo running up the middle, and Nudo is a no-go there. And it's going to be 2nd down and goal to go.
Bureau Valley went to their goal line defense right there. They had their defensive tackles slanting in tight or pinching on that center. Nowhere for Nudo to run the football. And they are awfully big up front, I tell you, and they are aggressive. A lot of times, Bureau Valley's defensive line isn't looking so much at coming across the football. They just want to create piles there. They just lay down some of the time, and it's hard to run around those big guys.
Yeah, Sean Wager, Spencer Yates, Josh Coyle, Wager 245, Yates 265, and Coyle 305.
Exactly.
Up front. 2nd down, goal to go. Ball at the 6. Petey hands off to Tranchiletta, who hands off on the reverse to the near side to Mike Conti. Fighting forward. Did he get in? Yes!
Boy,
touchdown!
He got
in. Diving to the pylon is Conti, and he's got the touchdown for Driscoll.
Once the ball carrier knocks that pylon off, the official looked down, saw that he had gotten to the pylon. It was laying on the ground. You see the double handoff right there from Tranchitella and Conti. Look at the second effort. 4 yards after first contact, he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, that's
Great
the
play.
right call. You saw him place the ball on the pylon, and the pylon is in play. That's a touchdown.
I'm not sure all the crowd agreed with that. You hear some of the boos coming out of the crowd, but that is a touchdown.
Now this is Rick Albreski for his 199th career extra point make. It is up, and it is good. Albreski, the all-time Illinois record holder for points after touchdown. The old record was 150. He now has 199. We're going to step aside for a local timeout with Driscoll on top by 7 points. Driscoll with a 43-yard touchdown drive after a turnover. They now lead by the score of 14-7. A great individual effort by Mike Connie on the 6-yard touchdown run.
Connie didn't play much in the first half. If he did, we didn't call his number very often, but obviously Coach Tim Rackey saw something, and Connie got a couple carries there early in the second half.
For more information on all of the IHSA football championship games, log on to IHSA.org, and you can also email comments about our broadcast to tv@IHSA.org. High kickoff from Albreski, and it was taken by Johnny Barnes, the older brother of Garrett Barnes. And once again, poor field position for BV. They start at their own 23-yard line.
You know, we showed that website on the air right there. I wore that website out this week. You know,
Me too.
I was on there, and I know you were as well. But fans, you ought to go on that website. They do a fantastic job with all sports that are associated with the IHSA.
On first down, Manier pitches it back. Preston Jones hit in the backfield and dropped. Significant loss on the play. Second and long upcoming for BV.
Shane Franken, number 11, from his outside linebacker position, comes up and make a great play. He came into the game with some nice statistics. About 73 tackles coming into this game, 8 sacks as well. Good look at Shane Franken right there.
Well, Driscoll has been able to take the lead here in the third quarter, operating against the wind. Bureau Valley with a 2nd down and 14 after the loss of 4. Jones the single setback, and Monier looking to throw. Coming near side. Plants and throws down the field, and it's well off the mark, out of bounds, incomplete. And it's going to be 3rd down and 14.
Smart play by Brad Monier right there. Knew he didn't have an open receiver. Instead of taking that big loss, that would have been about a 10-yard loss. Just threw the ball out of bounds. Go on to the next play. Good look right there, Jason Kirby. Got a little worried look on his face right now. They haven't been behind in very many games this year at all. Time winding down in the third quarter. He needs to get his offense going.
And where did Jason Kirby go to college? Oh yeah, the Southern Illinois University.
That's right.
2nd down and 14. Correction, 3rd and 14. Monier throwing deep down the middle. It's intercepted. Tranchitella with the pick at midfield into Bureau Valley territory on the return. Penalty flag flies in on the return. Tranchitella making another big play for Driscoll.
Boy, he's their big play guy, no doubt about it. Monier just threw this one up for grabs. Really acted like it was almost a punt. We're going to hear what the call is. Looks like we'll have a legal block in the back, I would imagine.
After reception, we got holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So there you have the call. It'll cost Driscoll 10 yards, but they have the football. 2 possessions for Bureau Valley, and there you see Coach Jason Kirby operating with the wind, and they've turned it over both times here in the third quarter.
Still excellent field position for Driscoll Catholic. They'll have the ball about the 46-yard line. Really, they've been playing this whole football game on the Bureau Valley side of the football field.
Driscoll operating against the wind could deliver some sort of a knockout punch here if they could get up 2 scores. 4:34 to play third quarter. Petey starts from the shotgun. Inside handoff, Meyer. Meyer breaks a tackle, and he's off for the races. He's to the 30, tries to cut back and does to the 25. Meyer showing some quickness. He's got a first down on the pickup of 21 yards.
When I went to the quarterfinal game, Driscoll and Wilmington, this play wore Wilmington out. There wasn't a whole lot of yardage, but Ryan Meyer runs this play so well out of the shotgun. You got to have great vision to run this play, and also you got to have a nice surge by that offensive line as number 79, I believe that was Dan Jurok, I think, with that block. That was a great block. Driscoll threatening again here late in the third quarter.
I think the Bureau Valley fans wanted a block in the back on that one. Didn't get it. From the 25, it's a handoff, and it is Transutella trying to sweep. He's got the 20, 15, dives forward down to the 14-yard line.
Boy, the coaches from Bureau Valley said wanted another illegal block in the back, but what's happening is Driscoll's locking up with them from the front side legally, and then they're pushing him so far outside, the defender's turning his back and he's maintaining contact. They're not going to call that an illegal block in the back. Great job by the officials not calling that. You're going to see this play right here. Number 20 locks up with him. That one almost could have been an illegal block in the back.
That was close.
That was close. I think he connected with him in the front side, though, so they didn't call it. Short trip set right here by Driscoll Catholic.
On first down, Petey hands off to Meyer. Meyer to the 10, Meyer to the 5, and it's close to first and goal here for the Highlanders. But there is a penalty flag on the play. Is that yep, that is a penalty flag.
Late penalty flag dropped about the 15-yard line. Driscoll Catholic looks like that one is on them. They're already walking back. Boy, that's a huge mistake.
Let's hear from Robert Scott, our referee tonight. Talking it over with defensive captain Brad Munir.
Holding on the offense.
So it wipes out a solid run from Meyer. And it wipes out what would have been a first and goal for the Highlanders and Coach Tim Rackey.
Right, 2 holding plays on this series of downs. And Tim Rackey, as you can see, is not very happy right there.
If Tim Rackey is able to win this game and win 4 championships, he would join some elite company. How about these coaching buddies that have won 4 championships in a row? Well, we'll talk about this after we step aside. 3:30 to go. Third quarter, Driscoll up 14-7. We'll be back after this network timeout.
Good job.
Big penalty on Driscoll.
Getting a little bit of drizzle here right now. See it up in the lights. That could turn to snow pretty quickly as the temperature's starting to drop a little bit.
The later it gets, the better the chance is for rain. The ball at the 24. After the penalty, it was at the 3. They run a reverse. It's Ray Lau looking for room on the left side, and he's got some, and he's going to go the distance. It's a touchdown. The reverse to Ray Lau, and the senior takes it into the end zone. A run of 24 yards, and it's 20-7 in favor of Driscoll.
Just a huge block by number 65, Danny Oliverio, the all-stater on the outside. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to see this, but you've got to watch number 65. I think he locks on with Ben Doty and literally drives him all the way out of bounds. Good block there. You see Oliverio right going across your screen, and look at Lau using that speed, getting into the end zone.
So now BV down 2 scores. Rick Albreski trying for the conversion kick. 4 years as a varsity kicker and playing in his 4th championship game. He has never missed a conversion kick in the finals. He is now 17 for 17 in conversion kicks in state championship games. Driscoll has scored twice here in the third quarter, and they lead 21-7. We're going to step aside for a network timeout. Well, last year that would have been snow coming down. Right now it is rain falling, and how about this for a stroke of luck for Driscoll? You get up 2 scores and then it starts raining.
Right. And you're going into the wind in the third quarter, and you're able to put 14 points on the board. Driscoll will have the wind in the fourth quarter. Bureau Valley is going to need to do something here quickly with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Well, the Highlanders scoring 14 points directly off Bureau Valley turnovers here in the third, as the kick from Albreski is squibbed into the wind. The ball is loose, and BV able to cover it up. It was number 12 for the Storm, Nick Davis, able to cover it up, and Bureau Valley will start from its own 33-yard line. There you see Albreski, great kicker. As a freshman, 3 years ago, 10 seconds to go, state championship game against Mount Carmel. He boots a 29-yard field goal to force overtime, a game that Driscoll went on to win 42-41, their first of now 3 consecutive championships.
You think about it, the kid's played 14 games a year, all 4 years in his high school career. It's pretty amazing.
Manier on the keeper up the middle across the 35. Pickup of about 3 for Brad, and this Bureau Valley offense just has not been able to get in gear here in the third quarter. Well, you see Manier going back to the huddle.
We heard Tim Rackey, the coach of Driscoll Catholic, saying he needed to play assignment football. That means each defender has an assignment. They had to stay with it. He didn't like what they did in the first half. Their defense done a pretty good job here in the second half.
Bureau Valley scored on its first play from scrimmage back in the first quarter. They have not scored since. Manier is able to pitch the ball. No, he did pitch the ball off to the right to Garrett Barnes, and Barnes with a nice run around the right side as the wind picks up. The rain continues to fall down harder. You see it pelting down on the fans here at Memorial Stadium. Barnes on the play. That's solid yardage and makes it 3rd and 1. 2:15 right now in the third quarter, as you see the clock there on your screen. Monier hands off straight up the middle. Preston Jones with the carry, and let's see if it's enough for first down yardage. Only needed to get 1, and he didn't. Nope, they're going to give him the first down. First down for the Storm, and that's much needed for the Storm faithful.
Well, I'd like to see Bureau Valley here in this series take a shot down the field. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. They have the win. Take a shot downfield. See if you can get an interference call.
Pitch back, bobbled by Doty, but maintains the ball and got a couple of yards on that play before being dropped. A near fumble. That's dangerous with the way the rain is falling to try a pitch like that, and Doty almost dropped it.
Boy, Joe Larea, number 21, is doing a nice job from his strong safety position, coming up, making tackles on Doty.
Bureau Valley, 3 turnovers in the game, 2 of them coming in this quarter. Turnover differential in this game is +2 in favor of Driscoll.
This is where you could see a play action pass right here, 2nd and long.
It's Doty, big hole. Doty into Driscoll territory, up the sideline. He might go the distance to the 10. He's gone. Doty with a touchdown. It's a run of 53 yards, and just like that, the Storm are back in the ball game.
Boy, he was very close to stepping out of bounds. Doty did a nice job staying in bounds. The official was right on the play. He's actually running with Doty down the field. Look at those linemen getting out in front. Spencer Yates, nice block on the outside. Doty does a good job, a little stiff arm. You see the official running right along, and he sees that Doty does not step out of bounds. Huge play by Bureau Valley.
So the Storm get on the board to stem the tide a little bit, and Hasbrook will come on to try for the conversion. Jason Hasbrook, a senior, trying to make it 21-14 with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. The kick on the way to the uprights, a little bit off to the right as you saw there on your screen, but it's good enough. Driscoll 21, Bureau Valley 14, and we have got a barn burner. We're going to step aside for a local timeout. We told you that Preston Jones was a 4-year starter. Ben Doty is also a 4-year starter for the Storm. He scores his 13th touchdown of the year, and none bigger than that one with his team down 21-7. Doty takes off on the long touchdown run, and it's now 21-14.
There you see the Bureau Valley crowd getting back into it. The students are ready to go. They're sitting on their hands a little bit, but here with 1:02 left, they need to get back in the game and help this Bureau Valley Storm.
And if you're Tim Rackey, the coach for Driscoll, you're saying, hey, they haven't stopped us in the second half yet. We've got our offense in gear. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing. And remember, Driscoll will have the wind in the fourth quarter. You see Jason Hasbrook getting it teed up.
Jason Hasbrook has quite a contraption on his right foot to kick off the football. He ties his square-toed shoe up. You can see right there to make that toe face up in the air. Allows him to get a lot of height on his kickoffs. He really puts it up in the air.
The ball is going to be fielded in the end zone. They let him run it out. Interesting. Out to the 14-yard line. It was Tranchitella on the return. It looked like he stepped into the end zone, and normally that's an automatic touchback. But he was able to run it out, and it actually pays dividends for Bureau Valley because Tranchitella didn't get it out to the 20.
No. I think he actually did field the ball in play, and I thought even if you stepped into the end zone, it was still a touchback, but that's not how the official saw it, and they've done a great job in this game.
Yeah.
We're not second-guessing them. He saw something different than we thought we saw up here.
Judgment call, and if it was his judgment that the ball was not in the end zone, then it's a go. Starting from the 14-yard line inside of their own territory. Here's a handoff to Tranchitella in the backfield, and he gets out to the 18-yard line. Pickup of 4. Tranchitella, a little bit of Mr. Everything for Driscoll. Great defender. He lines up in the backfield as he did there. Outstanding receiver.
Yeah, but
and the best thing for Tim Rackey is he's only a junior as well. Tranchitella will be back next year along with Phil Petey.
You know, Tranchitella's a good-sized kid, 6'2", 200 pounds. Runs very well. Does have 14 touchdowns this year, 4 by rushing, 6 receiving, and then the other 4 on special teams.
18 catches on the year for Tranchitella and 207 yards rushing coming in. Second down and 5. And it's a solid run for the quarterback, Petey. He's got the first down on the final play of the third quarter. Phil Petey, sophomore quarterback on the scramble, gets first down yardage. The clock actually stopped with 1 second to go in this third quarter as you see the run here from Petey.
Just a quarterback counter right there. Quarterback blast, whatever you want to call it. Predetermined call. Petey did a nice job sticking his nose in there, picking up the first down.
Well, game on, folks. 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes left in this Class 3A state championship game. Driscoll 21, Bureau Valley 14. We're back for the fourth quarter after this local timeout. (21-14) as we start the fourth quarter. We were tied 7-7 at halftime. Driscoll now operating with the wind here in the fourth quarter. It is going to be a 1st and 10. 1st and 10 from their own 28. Play action. Phil Petey rolling, throwing down the field, got a man wide open, but the ball overthrown and incomplete. It was Meyer who had slipped out of the backfield, and the pass incomplete. Every time I say Phil Petey's last name, I think of the movie Remember the Titans, when Denzel Washington's character gets upset with his running back and he goes, "You're killing me, Petey."
That's right, exactly. 11. That was a good throw by Petey right there.
Yes, it was.
I'm impressed with him as a sophomore quarterback, no doubt about it.
There you see scores from earlier today. Newman, United, and Montini, your winners. Who will join them as the 4th state champion today? Bureau Valley or Driscoll? The Highlanders with a 7-point lead. Petey out of the shotgun, sends Nudo in motion, and they're gonna run Tranchitella. Tranchitella slips a tackle from Preston Jones. That's not easy to do, and Tranchitella turns it into a first down.
Boy, Preston Jones banging on the ground after that missed tackle. I bet he hasn't made 2 of those all year, but that one is a very costly one. That keeps the drive going for the Driscoll Highlanders.
We'll see this play again.
Great look at it right here as Tranchitella just follows his blockers. You see the missed tackle by Preston Jones right there. Hard running by John Tranchitella.
Bureau Valley has been pushed around. Their rock solid defense has been moved around a lot here in the second half. Gibbs straight up the middle. Again, it was Tranchitella out of the backfield on the carry for the Highlanders. Short pickup on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Driscoll with the ball at their own 43. This drive started back inside of their own 20, so they've changed the field position battle on this drive. Petey from the shotgun. Fakes the inside handoff, he's gonna run it himself. Petey has got positive yardage. He's up to the races. The sophomore to the 30, to the 15, and drugged down from behind. It's a pickup of 46 for Phil Petey.
Boy, this play is all on the quarterback, Phil Petey. This is the play we talked about early in the first quarter. Counter read from the shotgun. That quarterback is just reading that defensive end. If he comes down on that running back, he is trained to take that ball. And Petey does a nice job breaking a couple tackles. Can't outrun the defense. Good pursuit by Bureau Valley. Petey darn near gets in the end zone.
Preston Jones coming up to make the play at the end of the run. The ball all the way down to the 13-yard line inside of Storm territory. The rain still coming down, but not nearly as hard as it was earlier. Petey hands off to Tranchitella. Trucking to the right, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown for the Highlanders. 13-yard run for John Tranchitella, and Driscoll goes back up by 2 scores. We're going to see this one again.
Counter gap action right here by the Driscoll Highlanders, and Tranchitella shows a lot of speed. He didn't have much to go on between the tackles, but he's able to stretch that one from the outside. This is a great look at it right here. Look at those offensive linemen getting out in front, knocking people around, and Tranchitella just uses his size, speed, and strength to get in the end zone.
So Bureau Valley scoring on the long run by Doty, and Driscoll answers back with a long touchdown drive. The big play, the 46-yard scamper to set up the touchdown run from Phil Petey. Extra point kick by Albreski is good.
Well, that's a sign of a championship team. Bounce right back after a little adversity.
10-17 to play in the football game. Driscoll doubling up Bureau Valley. We're going to step aside for a local timeout. Coming into this game, Bureau Valley was giving up an average of 5 points per game. And they were giving up an average of 64 yards rushing per game. In this game tonight, Driscoll with 28 points and 263 yards rushing. Albreski's kick is 5 yards deep in the end zone, and the Storm down 28-14 will start from their own 20-yard line.
And we know, Jim, that score really concerns Coach Jason Kirby for Bureau Valley. He thought if they could keep them under 21 points, they had a chance in this game. Driscoll already has 28 with a full quarter left to play. I know that score concerns Jason Kirby and his staff.
That touchdown drive, as you see Coach Kirby, and a concern, Coach Kirby right there, after watching his defense surrender a touchdown drive for Driscoll in excess of 80 yards just moments ago, right after his team had got back in the game. Mannier turns the corner, tries to fight forward, and gets a little bit of yardage on the play.
Boy, they are paying a ton of attention to Brad Monier, aren't they, after that first half?
That's one of the reasons why Doty was able to go for 52 yards and a touchdown at the end of the third quarter. 1 yard on that run for Mannier. 2nd down and 9. Spread offense here for Bureau Valley. Jones is the single setback. Monier looking to throw. He's in trouble, and he's sacked inside the 15. John Laurel was the first Highlander to get there and stick Mannier to the turf. Here you see the replay.
Boy, Laurel is unblocked literally right there. Monier had nothing to do, did a good job just to hang on to the football, and now this is forcing Bureau Valley into a situation they did not want to be in, 3rd and very long from inside their 20-yard line.
And working against the wind too as well. Rain is all but stopped here at Memorial Stadium. Mannier straight drop, under pressure again, he's sacked again, back at the 11. It's 4th down. This Highlander defense is fired up, and Manier had no time to throw there.
No, they're pinning their ears back right now. They know they have Bureau Valley with their backs against the wall. They brought 2 outside linebackers. You see them coming from the outside. A lot of pressure on Brad Manier.
So the Storm will punt. And surprisingly, their first punt of the game here in the 4th quarter. It'll be Doty standing in his own end zone. And Driscoll's going to get good field position. Doty gets it away, up into the wind, and it's not a good kick. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 24-yard line inside of Bureau Valley territory. Outstanding field position for the Highlanders with just over 8 minutes to go in the game.
BV defense really needs to suck it up here. 8:06 in the game. This game's getting away from them. If Driscoll's able to put any points on the board, that'll be very difficult for them to come back against the wind.
Well, Bureau Valley with its backs against the wall, and Driscoll 8 minutes and 6 seconds away from making history and winning a state championship for the 4th consecutive year. Out of the spread, the Highlanders with 4 receivers, and Phil Petey is going to spend a timeout, the first timeout called in the second half for the Highlanders. We'll have more from Memorial Stadium after this network timeout. There you see the Highlanders coming back out of the field after this timeout. Driscoll up by 14, 8:06 to play, 4th quarter. And you see a couple of receivers to the top of your screen. Petey from the shotgun. They fake the inside handoff. Petey's going to run again. Penalty flag on the play comes in. There you see it there. Rests at the 19-yard line. We're probably looking at some sort of holding penalty on the Highlanders.
Holding on the offense.
That is the call. That'll cost the Highlanders 10 yards. A touchdown here, and it'll be tough for BB coach Kirby's, Jason Kirby's team to make a comeback. So the Storm defense, to keep their state championship hopes alive, need to make a stop, and Driscoll looking to pound a nail in the coffin here and take another step closer to their 4th consecutive state championship. 3 receivers to the right. Petey takes. It's a handoff. Meyer off the right side. He's got the corner, spins off a defender, and manages to fight forward. Boy, oh boy, great second effort all the way down to the 24-yard line before he's finally dropped.
You know, and Ryan Meyer is only listed at 5'8", 140 in the press guide, which is amazing. He plays a lot bigger than that. Very hard runner. And we're going to see another look at this one from ground level. Watch the drive on Ryan Meyer. This is a kid only 140 pounds, breaking 1, 2, 3 tackles.
And watch how long it takes to bring him down.
Right, exactly.
With 5 guys on his back. Impressive run.
You know, he's done that all year too for them. It's been amazing.
2nd down and 11. After that 10-yard run. Under 7 minutes for the game. Penalty flags come in again. Play clock was at 2. So I don't think it's delay of game. It's going to be on Driscoll.
Ball, encroachment on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
Interesting, encroachment on the offense. They lined up offside.
I think Transitella from his split end receiver position was actually lined up across the football. The official on the far side on Driscoll's sideline saw it and made the right call.
Ryan Meyer getting a break right now. There you see his numbers, 8 carries for 50 yards and a touch. Bureau Valley defensively trying to make a stop. Driscoll, and now another timeout taken by Petey, a little confused.
Game clock was running down
Timeout.
to 0. Good call by Phil Petey.
6:26 to play here in the fourth quarter, and let's talk about Taylor Bell's book once again. This outstanding book on the history of basketball in Illinois. Great stories covering 6 decades, 60 stories. You can order it online at ihsa.org/Bell. Great idea for the sports fan in your life. 309-663-6399 is the phone number you can call. You see it right there on your screen. Great stories about basketball for 6 decades, from the 1940s through the 1990s. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the expressed written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited. Desperate times for BV coach Jason Kirby. 2nd and 16 for the Highlanders at the BV 30. Pump fake from Petey for the home run ball. Down the right sideline. The ball is intercepted. It's picked off by the Storm.
A great play. I think that's Brad Monier out there, the quarterback, isn't it, from his cornerback position?
Brad Monier with the pick, a leaping interception. Are they going to give him the end zone, or are they going to say he was down at the 2?
Boy, I think they're going to start that ball about the 2-yard line. You're exactly right. That's where he got possession. We'll see the replay right here. What a great camera angle. And Monier actually is on about the, that's a tough call,
That's
though.
a really tough call, because his momentum certainly carried him into the end zone.
Not sure he had full possession either until he got in the end zone. We do have an injured player down on the field. Get an idea who this is here in a second.
Not a good angle on the number. That I think I've got an idea. I don't want to speculate, though. 6:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Driscoll on top, 28-14, but the BV defense making the stand that they needed, coming up with the interception. Granted, they've got a long way to go to get to the end zone, but still, now they have the football, and they still got a chance in this Class 3A state championship game.
See Tim Racky out there as well with the injured player, the head coach for Driscoll Catholic.
And you look at the turnover situation. Bureau Valley with 3 turnovers tonight. Driscoll was with 2. And for the season, you see the numbers for both teams.
Plus 15 coming into the season, and -2 here as we see Phil Petey going off on the field with just a cramp, we're told, from the sideline. So that's a good situation for Driscoll Catholic. Petey might be able to get that one worked out and get back in the football game.
Now Bureau Valley will start at its own 2, down 2 scores with just over half of the fourth quarter left to go. And you're working against the wind. Could there be anything else working against Bureau Valley in this situation?
Well, the rain's kicking up a little bit. Why not?
Oh, it could get worse. Monier falls down in the end zone after he took the snap, and it's a safety.
Boy, it looks like one of his offensive linemen stepped back, and Monier got tripped up by his own player. Driscoll will be awarded 2 more points, Jim.
So it's now 30-14.
Here's the replay. Let's see if that, he gets stepped on by number 75, Spencer Yates, from his right guard position. Tough play for Brad Monier.
So now it'll be a free kick from the 20-yard line for Bureau Valley. They'll be kicking to Driscoll. And I guess Murphy's Law is a law for a reason. Just as I said, could it get any worse for Bureau Valley? It did.
Right after, you're right.
Because not only do you give up the 2 points, you've got to give up the football as well. And it goes back, that was a close call on that interception as to whether or not that Monier was in the end zone or at the 2 after he came up with the pick. Very, very close, and the call goes in favor of Driscoll, and it really, it aids them with 2 points after that.
I was watching some of the fans on the sideline for Driscoll Catholic. Actually, one of the support posts over there collapsed, and a few of them fell almost onto the field. Hopefully nobody's hurt as the security is walking over to help them out.
See that across the way right now. You're right. Hopefully everybody is okay over there.
Well, the railing broke, and that's what happens when the cameras come around. Everybody wants to be on TV. They all rushed the camera. The railing broke, and a few of them fell onto the field almost.
Here's the free kick. It rolls free, and then it's smartly covered up by Driscoll. Making the play was Dominic Fontano. And it'll be Driscoll ball near midfield. The Highlanders on top by the score of 30-14.
Now it'll be interesting seeing if Petey's actually able to come in at quarterback. I doubt that he is right away. We haven't yet picked up his replacement here at quarterback.
It'll be Dustin Miller.
Okay.
Coming into the huddle, and he'll occupy the quarterback position. 6'4", 200-pound senior. Has seen time at quarterback this season for the Highlanders. There you see what happened moments ago. Hopefully everybody is okay. Taking a give to John Tranchitella, taking it around the right side for the Highlanders. We're halfway through the fourth, and there you see Driscoll with a 16-point lead. Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Dustin Miller's actually had a decent season coming into this game. He's 38 of 87, 5 TDs and 3 interceptions. So with some of the blowouts that Driscoll Catholic has had, Dustin Miller's gotten some action this year.
Miller under center. Tranchitella is the receiver to the bottom of your screen. Here's the give, and not much. The Bureau Valley defense able to push that one back. It'll bring up a 3rd down carry. Nudo was the carrier for the Highlanders. Call that no gain, 3rd and 8.
Bureau Valley defensive coaches are yelling for the defensive players after a tackle to get up off the ground, get back in the huddle. They want that play clock or that game clock to get started, and it's desperate times right now for BV with 4:50 left to go in the 4th.
The clock ticking. Driscoll, 4:45 away from 4 straight state championships. 3rd and 8 from midfield. It's a handoff. Nudo fighting forward, and he is going to be close to 1st down yardage.
Boy, he is very close on that. A little second effort at the end. Nudo, I think, is going to be a little bit short, about a half a football from my angle. But they're going to give it to him.
1st down for Driscoll. Well, Driscoll threw the football in the 1st half. And I think that throwing of the football loosened up Bureau Valley's defense a little bit, and the Highlanders have run the football effectively here in the 2nd half. Driscoll is moving the ball on this Bureau Valley defense like nobody has been able to do all season long. Tranchitella with the carry, trying to get off the right side as we reach the 4-minute mark of the ball game.
Yeah, this is a defense that last week against Nashville only gave up, as you mentioned earlier, 29 net yards and 1 first down.
And that was in the 1st quarter.
That's unbelievable. And they also were able to pull out 4 turnovers against Nashville's offense, and it's been a different story tonight against Driscoll Catholic.
Well, the difference between Driscoll and Nashville is that Driscoll has an effective passing game. When you're multi-dimensional, you're just that much more of an effective offense, because you're going to run into a team at some point in the playoffs that can stop the run.
That's right. They're going to put 9 guys in the box or something, run a 6-man defensive front, and that's going to happen. You have to be able to throw the ball a little bit, or have the threat of the throw.
Nudo with the carry there. Took it down to the 35, 3rd and 2 upcoming as we have reached the 3-minute mark. Well, if Driscoll holds on, how about this company for Tim Rackey? Gordy Gillespie, Frank Lenti, and Matt Seffner.
I've heard of all 3 of them.
The other 3 coaches that have won 4 consecutive state championships.
Boy, that's amazing.
Carry off the right side is going to be short of the first down.
4th and 1 here. What are you going to do? I think, do you punt him and get him inside the 10-yard line, or do you go for it? Your offensive line has had a great half. I think they're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. This is a huge play. This is the ball game. If they're able to get the first down, I can't imagine that Bureau Valley is going to be able to come back from this.
And the Highlanders are going to go. Dustin Miller has Nudo lined up behind him. 4th and 1. Here's Nudo fighting forward, and I don't know. The clock stops here with less than 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. They're going to spot it, and it's a first down.
I wasn't going to speculate. I've been wrong all night, or actually all day, trying to make that call. But that's a huge first down right there. Minute 57 left to go now.
Bureau Valley does have 2 timeouts. Let's see if they use them. The clock rolling now. Ball marked ready for play. 1:50 to go. And Driscoll up by 16. It's looking good for the Highlanders, and they're close to winning their 20th consecutive playoff game. 20 in a row. Miller, hands off up the middle. Off to the races. It's a touchdown. Meyer takes it in to add the exclamation point for the Highlanders. It's a run of 32 yards and a touchdown.
It's only fitting that Ryan Meyer would get the touchdown that clinches the football game for Driscoll Catholic. Great job by Nudo right there, sealing off the linebacker, and Ryan Meyer with that terrific speed is off to the races. That makes it 36-14 Driscoll Catholic.
We were tied 7-7 at halftime. Now it's 36-14.
Well, I think the fact that Tim Rackey wanted his team to play with a little more attitude, I think he got that a point across at halftime.
And here's Al Bresky, maybe for the final time in his high school career, to put the conversion kick through, and it's good. 1:28 to go, 4th quarter. We're going to step aside for this message from the Illinois High School Association. Bureau Valley has given up 30 points in the second half, and they trail 37-14 as we look ahead to what's on tap football-wise tomorrow here on the IHSA television network, beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning. The 6A title game between Bloomington and Providence. Bloomington in the title game for the 3rd straight year. They've lost 2 years in a row. And that 5A matchup between Morris and Joliet Catholic. 8A between Downers Grove North and Maine South. And the finale tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Libertyville against Cary Grove in Class 7A. It's been a great day today, and it promises to be a great day tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow morning beginning at 10 o'clock. The kick from Al Bresky, and he'll send that one into the end zone, and nearly got it through the uprights.
Boy, he's got a strong leg. That kid is going to kick in the next level somewhere, and be a nice, pleasant surprise for a head coach next year.
20 consecutive wins for Driscoll. Dunlap, Lyle, Pontiac, Huntley, Mount Carmel. Burlington Central, Montini, Byron, Princeton, Mount Carmel again. Richmond, Burton, Winnebago, Burlington Central, Hillsboro, Prairie Central, Dwight, Stillman Valley, Wilmington, Tolono Unity, and tonight, Bureau Valley, the 20 victims in the 4-year reign as state champions.
You just made a
for the Highlanders.
A lot of enemies by doing that, reminding all those coaches who Driscoll has beat, you know. But what a phenomenal run. And
to win 4 in a row, that's special.
Yes, it is.
I don't care if it's public, private, whatever. To win 4 consecutive state championships, not only the talent that it takes to get it done, you've got to get lucky, you've got to avoid injuries, and you've got to have a great coach like Tim Rackey right there. There you see Driscoll joining Joliet Catholic, Mount Carmel, and Providence as the only teams to win 4 consecutive state championships. Now, we told Coach Rackey before the game the company he would join.
Right.
And he goes, thanks, guys.
Yeah, the look he gave you after that was amazing.
Yeah, the coaches that Rackey joins, Gordy Gillespie from those great Joliet Catholic teams from 1975 through 78, Frank Lenti, still the coach at Mount Carmel. They got it done from 1988 through 1991, and then Matt Sefner at Providence from 1994 through 1997. There you see Racky getting doused and getting some hugs.
That isn't sweat, folks. He just got doused with the water bucket, but he was sweating early in that first half, but they have put 30 points on the board here in the second half, and you see a lot of happy players on the Addison Driscoll side.
Well, in the third quarter of this game, Driscoll taking advantage of a couple of Bureau Valley turnovers, cashed them into a couple of scores in that third quarter to go up 21-7. Bureau Valley got back within 21-14, but Driscoll able to hammer it home here with 54 seconds to go. We just need to run the clock down, and what a great year for Bureau Valley.
Oh,
as you see the coaching staff giving their starters a round of applause as they come off the field. Preston Jones, a 4-year starter. Out on the field is Jason Kirby, the head coach, as the second teamers come on.
He was the cheerleader for him. What an outstanding gesture on his part. Had all his seniors come off the field at once and get the admiring hand from the Bureau Valley fans. What a great job by Jason Kirby and his staff. I'm sure he'll put together another great football team next year. He has a lot of seniors he's going to lose this year, but he's got a nice program going on up in Bureau Valley.
Just 54 seconds to go in this 3A state title game. In at quarterback is Ben Durham for the Storm. And on this play with the carry, Jesse Wilstead. And it's going to be third down upcoming for Bureau Valley.
One of the keys to the game for Driscoll we put was to stay focused. That was for all of the stuff that was probably going on for them this week. All the interview requests, everybody coming out to practice, all the alumni talking to these players. I think after the first quarter went by, Jim, they were able to stay focused and get down to business. And obviously it's going to bring them a fourth straight state championship.
Big run for Ben Durham at the quarterback position for Bureau Valley.
That first down will briefly stop the clock. We'll have one more play maybe by Bureau Valley. And then Addison Driscoll will celebrate their fourth straight state championship.
Clock is at 37. The ball at the 37-yard line. There you see Tim Racky watching the clock count down. It's at 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Bureau Valley gets a play off, and the ball game is over. Hail to the Highlanders, folks. 4 consecutive state championships for Driscoll Catholic High School in Addison.
Boy, they brought a big following too down from Addison, Illinois. A lot of people came out of the suburbs to witness this one. And I know they are a very young team. They have at least 5 players back on each side of the football. A lot of these kids that you're seeing tonight, folks, you may see again next year.
37-14, Driscoll takes control in the second half, and let's go down to the field where Mike Cleff is standing by with Tim Racky.
Would play better in the second half. Boy, they certainly did.
They sure did. I'm very proud of them. They came out with more of an attitude. We executed on both sides of the ball and special teams a lot better than we did in the first half. And these seniors especially, didn't win a game their freshman year. So for them to lead us to this 4th title is just a big credit to them. They really led us all year, these seniors.
Tim, I've been on the sidelines for every one of your 4 state titles. I know they've meant a lot, but tonight on the sideline, there seemed to be a little bit of a higher level of emotion. Was that the case, do you think?
I think with the pressure that you go through all year, I mean, success is really a tough, difficult thing to deal with. And I think that's why I think the players really helped me and my staff this year through it. And I think it's just that whole, it's bottled up and you want to get it done. And when you get it done, you're happy about it.
Tim, we're going to talk to him in a moment, but how good is this quarterback?
These guys, not me. Talk to these guys, not me. They deserve it.
Congratulations, Tim. Tim Racky. Now here we're joined by Phil Petey, the sophomore quarterback. First of all, Phil, that was just a cramp you had, right?
Yes,
okay.
I'm fine.
All right. Phil, how special is tonight?
Oh my God, I'm lost with words. It's unbelievable. I never thought I could do this. Sophomore, it's awesome. Our team's great.
Phil, it seemed like a long time ago, but Bureau Valley scored the first time they had the ball in this game, take a 7-0 lead. What were you guys saying on the sideline?
Our offense knew that we can move the ball on these guys, so we just kept our heads high. We knew our defense could stop them. We came out strong.
Ryan Meyer, he's a little butterball. I mean a tough little butterball.
Yeah, he is. I give him all the credit in the world. It's a senior. He scored that last touchdown. I love him, man.
And one more guy, Albreski. I've watched this guy. It seems like he's been with your program.
He's got 4 rings now. That's amazing. I wish the best of luck to him, man.
Bottom line is, what does it say about this program? 4 straight state titles.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's all the coaches. The coaches put hours and hours. The players put hours and hours. It's unbelievable.
All right, Phil. Go enjoy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Now, here we go. We've got Superfoot right here, Rick Albreski. And Rick, you just heard what Phil said. You have 4 rings, man.
Oh, my God, 4 rings. This is, I could never even have imagined this. This freshman year I came out here, and being a freshman, never playing football in my life, I get the first one, and then 2 more, and then 3 more, and then this is unbelievable. This is the greatest feeling ever.
It's one of the things or situations where it's okay to be greedy.
Oh, it's very okay to be greedy. 4 rings, no one else would do anything else than take those 4 and be happier than you could ever be right now. So this is just unbelievable, unbelievable.
You know, Rick, we could credit a lot of guys on your team tonight. This was a real group effort, whether it was your quarterback, your backs, your offensive line. I thought they were really big, and the defense came up with the big play. I mean, it was everybody.
Everybody contributed. We played 4 full quarters as a team, and you can't ask for anything more when a team comes together like this. So good thing we came together at the right time.
How good of a coach is Tim Rackey?
Oh, by far the best. I would never want to. It's going to be tough to be under him anymore. Having him as a head coach is unbelievable, and he's just been there for me for 4 years, and he's been there for all of us, and he's taught us how to play this game and love it.
Well, you know, and the bond that you have with him and your staff has with them is just unbelievable, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Rick Albreski, what a career this guy has had. 4 state championship rings. He's going to go up and collect his trophy as well. Jim, Steve, back to you guys.
Thank you.
Emotional night here at Memorial Stadium as Driscoll gets it done to claim their 4th consecutive state championship, and they were awfully impressive in the second half of this game. Talk about a steamroller.
Oh, man. You could almost feel the emotion right there in Albreski talking. He was getting choked up towards the end of that interview with Mike Cleff. Mike's done a great job for everybody this afternoon and tonight on the sideline, and that was one emotional interview, as we're going to now see the Bureau Valley captains come on the podium and accept their 2nd place trophy. You're going to see the captains Preston Jones, Spencer Yates, number 75, Brad Monier, Ben Doty, and Eric Blackard, I believe, is up there as well. So what an accomplishment from this group of seniors for this Bureau Valley Storm football team.
I think that if you talk to Coach Kirby for BV, he's going to tell you turnovers and penalties. You just can't do that against a team like Driscoll because they're going to take advantage, and Driscoll certainly did.
They really did. And
doesn't take anything away from a 13-1 season. This was a team that didn't have a lot of expectations coming into the year, talking about Bureau Valley. They thought they were going to be better last year, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs to Amboy. First game this year for Bureau Valley was against Amboy. Bureau Valley won the game 40-0, rolled on to 13 consecutive victories before simply running into a buzzsaw by the name of Driscoll tonight.
That's right. Actually, that win to start the season kind of push them forward to run off 13 straight wins, as they're the captains for Bureau Valley, raised that 2nd place trophy. I know they're a little upset about that now, but when that goes in the trophy case next to all the other trophies down the road, they'll be very proud of their accomplishment.
Yeah, Bureau Valley has been a high school, a consolidated high school for 10 years. Steve, they now have 6, count them, 6 state trophies in 10 years.
Very impressive, very impressive. That just tells you the quality of athlete they're getting up there, the quality of the coaching staffs they have with all the different sports, and I am very impressed by that entire program up there at Bureau Valley.
And Bureau Valley actually has 2 trophies this fall. Their girls cross country team earlier this year placed 3rd at the state meet. Now the football team finishes in 2nd place, and now we're going to hear from the Highlanders, and as they claim their championship trophy. And Meyer, he wanted to grab the trophy early.
I'm going to walk that up there myself. Give that thing to me. You see some of the seniors and the captains right there on the podium for Driscoll Catholic.
And I'm not sure if I'm obviously winning 4 championships in a row. That sounds wonderful, but when you break it down to the games, to win 20 playoff games in a row, and actually the year before they played 4 games. So of their last 24 playoff games, Driscoll's won 23 because the year before they won their first title, they advanced to the semifinals.
That's amazing.
And lost to Oregon that year.
It really is.
And how about the Suburban Catholic Conference? 2 championships today, because Montini won earlier today in Class 4A. In the last 4 years, the Suburban Catholic Conference has won 6 state championships. That includes Immaculate Conception in 3A a couple of years ago. Right now, we're going to go down to the field. Mike Cleff is with BV Coach Kirby.
All right, thanks, Jim and Steve. And Jason Kirby, the outstanding Bureau Valley coach, so gracious to join us. And Jason, you know, I know the emotions are running very high right now, but my goodness, what a run you guys had. What an unbelievable run.
I can't say enough about our kids, how hard they fought, everything they've done for our program over the past 4 seasons. There's no shame in getting second place in this state. We got beat by a good football team. Our kids fought like warriors to the end. I'm proud of them, and I'll never forget what they did for our school and for me.
Jason, what I loved what you did, you took that timeout in the final minute, and it was a chance to give the guys who laid it out on the line a chance to come off the field and be recognized by your fans.
I agree. That's something that I've had done to me in the past, and I liked it, and I wanted our kids to one last time hear the roar of the crowd because they deserved it. They're unbelievable, and I love them to death, and I'll never, as long as I live, forget them.
Jason, I know there's not one particular moment or one particular word to sum up their team, but if you had to choose one word about this group, what word would that be?
Relentless.
Relentless.
No doubt. Relentless. They never, ever stop working hard to be champions.
Jason Kirby, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Jason Kirby, very, very gracious in joining us. This is a guy who grew up in this area from the town of Philo, just about 5 miles away, and what a run they had this season, finishing second in the state in Class 3A, the Bureau Valley Storm. We appreciate Jason joining us under a tough situation. Hey, we're going to come right back with more coverage of the high school football finals right after we hear from these local sponsors. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. 4 games done on Friday, and your state champions, Newman Catholic in 2A, Alexis United in 1A, the Montini Broncos in 4A, and just recently completed Driscoll Catholic, the Highlanders, in Class 3A. It's the 4th consecutive state championship for Driscoll Catholic. Congratulations to them. So many great stories today. We just mentioned Driscoll Catholic's 4th in a row. How about Montini and Chris Andriano, the Hall of Fame classy coach, getting his first state championship in his first appearance in the state finals? How about Alexis United, a consolidated school in their first year of consolidation, winning a state title, and Newman Catholic back in the state finals for the first time in a while, and they garnered the first place trophy. And how about the teams that finished second, capped off by Bureau Valley Storm, a great run, and as we watched and listened just a couple of moments ago, such a classy coach in Jason Kirby, who grew up in the town of Philo, just 5 miles from Memorial Stadium. It's been a great day. We have 4 more games tomorrow. Jim Spencer, Steve Mays, it's been a pleasure working with you two. And also, I want to salute Lee Hall and Greg Bradshaw, who I worked with during 2 of the games today. It's been a blast, and thanks for watching. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for the 5A, 6A, 7A, and 8A games. Thanks for watching, and had a great time. And Jim and Steve, I'll send it back upstairs to you guys.
We thank Mike for his fine efforts down in the field. It's kind of cool up here in our booth, and I can't imagine how cold it is down there on the field. But I second Mike. It was a great day with Newman winning again, their 3rd state championship, and of course with Driscoll capping it off tonight with a 4-peat. And let's look at how the Highlanders got it done to win their 4th consecutive state championship. Remember, in the first half, it was a passing Driscoll team. In the second half, it was a rushing Driscoll team. Remember, Bureau Valley only giving up 64 yards per game rushing on average, and Driscoll rolls up 249.
That's right, 350 total yards almost. The turnovers are pretty even, and Driscoll Catholic just really got after it. I think with Coach Rackey mentioning they need to pick up their intensity a little bit, that obviously happened. They put 30 points on the board in the second half. As there you see some of the final statistics as well. Look at those rushing yards. Pretty even when you really balance it out. But, I think a person we need to point out is Phil Petey. I thought he played outstanding for a sophomore quarterback coming into the pressure of this state championship game. I thought he played phenomenal.
Phil Petey only attempted 3 passes in the second half. All of Driscoll's yardage in the second half coming on the ground. Here's our defensive play of the game. Watch this pick by Brad Manier.
Yeah, that was just a great play. We saw a couple real nice interceptions. The other one by Doty on the other side of the football field. A lot of great defensive effort and a lot of great plays, individual plays on both teams, and Driscoll Catholic was just able to put a lot of points on the board here in the second half and pull out the big win for the state championship.
That was the Illinois National Guard defensive play of the game, and Brad Manier, quarterback, he can catch the ball too. We found that out. Great recapping the scores today. In the first game, it was Newman knocking off Carthage. 21-7 was the final score in that one. 3 state championships now for Comet coach Mike Paposi. And then in its first year in existence, as Mike Clef said just a moment ago, Alexis United knocks off Stockton in a great game, 21-14. Lombard Montini with its first ever state championship in football, defeating Cole City 44-7. And in this one just completed, Driscoll with the 37-14 victory. And we got 4 more games coming up tomorrow here on the IHSA television network, beginning at 10 o'clock right here on many of these same IHSA television network stations. In Class 6A, Bloomington against Providence. You're a Bloomington guy. Can Bloomington finally get it done after now being in the championship game 3 years in a row?
Well, I know I can't say I hope so, but I will be rooting for Bloomington tomorrow. That's a very tough draw that they have in Providence Catholic, but I'll be here for that game as well, and I'm really looking forward, as we've talked about a couple times, to that Morris-Joliet Catholic game. I actually look at all 4 of those games. They're all outstanding games on paper.
But I think if you had to pick a marquee matchup tomorrow, it comes at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That border battle between Morris and Joliet Catholic. What are they separated by? About 15 miles. And it's not that they don't exactly care for one another. So that even adds to the drama a little bit.
Exactly.
Joliet Catholic going for its 12th. Its record 12th state championship in football. So it is going to be a great day tomorrow. It was a great day today, and as always, it's fun to work with you, my friend.
Yeah, it was outstanding. I thought Mike did an outstanding job on the sideline. That's tough duty, doing 4 games from the sideline, and he hung in there with a cold and sore throat that he had all day. Our staff did a great job. The camera people were outstanding, and I look forward to doing it next year.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, if they'll have us back next year, we'd be glad to do it again. So 4 games in the books, 4 more games coming up tomorrow. Again, back on the air here on the IHSA television network at 10 o'clock in the morning. So again today, Newman, United, Montini, and Driscoll are your state champions. And as you see here on your screen, there's a Brad Manier with a touchdown run. First play of the game.
Very first play
for
of the
Bureau
game,
Valley.
right.
Taking it the distance for the touchdown, but after that, it was all Driscoll as the Highlanders come away with their state championship. That's going to do it for day 1. Friday is in the books here on championship weekend at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. For our entire IHSA television network crew, I'm Jim Spencer saying have a great night.